I gotta put the bitches away because I ain't gonna stop.
So what's up? What's up? We're back. 2.5 weeks.
Yo!
2.5 weeks, Rob.
Ah!
Guess what I just found out?
What?
Mother effing Sandstorm got the invite to pre-order, and it went to his junk folder, and it's 2 days expired by the time he saw it.
Oh, is that why he was putting? I saw that a
No.
tweet, but it didn't
So
correlate in my head.
he already has one pre-order, so that I could have gotten that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he could have handed it off to you. That sucks.
Oh, damn.
Like it's
No,
just not
because
meant to
also-
be.
No, but also,
I don't know if that happened to me. That probably happened to me too.
yeah, but I think I
That's
really do believe if you go to the store the day of, I think you're gonna have a lot.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Well,
lot better.
GameStop is doing at 3 p.m., which I won't get out of work till closer to 5:30. I'm just gonna go
What are you?
after work on Thursday and just say, see what the line's like. Ask how many
Yeah.
they have, how many people are pre-ordered, and see if I'm gonna be in line. If I will, I'll just stay there and for 5
What
hours.
about is it Myers? You said
I didn't ask them if they're actually gonna do it. I didn't look up to see if they posted. I meant to yesterday when I was there. I told myself, yeah, go stop in the electronics and ask.
Mm.
But and then Best
I
Buy
think
is
you're gonna
also
be
gonna
pretty
have
set.
extra, so I could try the
Yeah.
midnight.
If you try the midnight though, I think it's gonna be tough because how are you gonna know who's online
Yeah.
for people that already pre-ordered, and you'd have to ask every individual person. I feel like probably.
Let's see. Switch 2 coming June 5th, in store only for Meyer. So that's
Oh,
gonna be the
alright.
next morning though. I'm gonna
I
start
mean,
with
in
GameStop.
store is good though. Like you'll have the advantage.
And it'll be inside. You don't have to wait out. Well, actually, yeah, they don't. It's not 24 hours anymore. They don't open till like 7 or 8 now. But I might as well try GameStop on Thursday after I get out of work and just see. Just stop in, say, figure out what the deal
That
is.
too.
But yeah, that would have been nice. I was gonna, if I got one, or got a pre-order something. I was just gonna keep it secret, keep acting like I wasn't gonna get one.
Oh, okay.
But
and then you're gonna be like, "Yo, hop on Mario Kart."
Yeah.
What it?
I got Muhammad's attention with the clickbait title just because I've seen some people
Yo,
saying some dumb stuff.
Look, I give you so much credit, Mohammed.
He looking for something, boy.
I give
I
Mohammed so much
blame
credit.
as
This man
as
is
an
like a
Xbox
master
fan,
troll,
yes.
bro. He's amazing at this.
You
He
take
does it every
anything he
week.
can get right now.
I mean, it's such a silly idea that it's the only way I could see them bumping up their initial plan was if they just somehow after the election just like, oh wait, there could be tariffs, we better change our plans, because they had what, the January, February, what was it, the initial reveal. I guess the leaks could have pushed that up, but everything kind of timed out what we expected them to try to recreate the Switch 1 timing.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
developers have had dev kits. We knew about the Breath of the Wild 4K demo almost 3 years ago now. I think it was 2 full years would be 3 E3s, 3 Junes from ago, or 2 ago, but this will be the third one. 2 years ago they had a 4K demo of Breath of the Wild behind the scenes and stuff. I mean, there's nothing rushed about it. Like, they got a new Mario Kart and a new Donkey Kong within the first month. There's stupid. But anyway, let's not talk about that Let's not talk about that right now. So I don't have it yet, but today I purchased my first new current sports game since 2009.
Whoa,
The
really?
last 2 sports games, not including the Super Nintendo NES games I bought recently. The last, this year.
Are you talking like PS5?
So
Madden
the last time I bought new sports games, one was Wii and one was 360. They were a couple months apart. 2009, I bought Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10 with Wii Motion Plus, with the Wii Motion Plus adapter in the box, and then I bought Madden NFL 10 same year. And that's the last time I was really thinking about it. I was like, man, I mean, you guess you could count Wii Sports when I bought the Wii, but it's not like I went out of my way and bought a sports game.
Yeah, but even then, you're forced to get.
So it's just like,
was the Xbox Series X rushed? That bitch ain't had no games when it came
You know, that was definitely an accelerated time because the Xbox One went stagnant, and I think they pushed it up a year
Yeah.
from. But so yeah, I picked up a used
Yeah.
copy of Madden 25 for this PS5
Ooh.
for 18 or 19.95, so $20 with free shipping. And
Played it yet?
no, I don't have it yet. It's supposed to be here. It
That's
says
the newest
Saturday,
version
but the
too, right?
USPS tracking's always terrible, so it could be earlier and it could be like next week Tuesday. You know.
Didn't
Okay.
they do Madden 25 already? Oh wait, that was the 25th anniversary of
Yeah.
Madden. Fucking confusing.
Yeah, like the 10th anniversary. So I thought about it last year. Then I saw the $70 price tag, and I heard about all the BS that goes into Madden now, and you boot up the game, and it's like trying to sell you on the deluxe gold edition
Yeah.
like immediately. I was like, I ain't paying $20, and you know my Detroit Lions are really good right now. They have a stacked roster, and I'm like, you know what? I've been playing Techmo Super Bowl like a simulation game. I'm on my third season. You can do 91, 92, and a 93 season. I won the Super Bowl in the second season, and I'm like 4-0, 4-0, 5-0 right now in the third season. And I'm just really having a blast. Like I can't get enough of this game. And so what I did was I just searched some YouTube videos. I think he's the biggest YouTuber for Madden. He's got like 1.5 million subscribers, and he's playing against professional athletes and some of the best. And I'm just watching them play, like just judging the game. Obviously, they're really good, and I'm just like, this just looks like, obviously the visuals. It almost looks like real life, and the way they're playing it, they're running the ball like it's not the nonsense that I experienced my last time playing online in 2009 that turned me off. I'm sure there's a lot of people that play really annoyingly, but they're just playing legit, like, you know, sim style football. And it's like, whether I love it or not, for $20, I know it's all
Yeah.
not on the disc. I don't mind for $20. I don't know what the size of the game is. I know the Switch 2 versions, they're saying it's like 50 gigs or
It
40.
was remember we looked. I think it was like
It's
that was
smaller
like
than
it
I
was like
thought.
50 or 60. It was 50
I don't
or 60
expect
or
it to
something.
be on the disc. I didn't look it up, but doesn't matter. I've been in football mode since the last 2 years with my team doing good. Had a rough end of the last season, but I'm just like, man, I just want to play as the current players, and you know, since $20, I figure it's gonna be worth it. Yeah, you know, Game Pass Ultimate, blah, blah. I know you can play the old Maddens on there, but for $20, I might as well just have the game.
Yeah, don't you want to subscribe to a service right now to play it? I mean, come on, man.
So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I've probably watched 10 of this guy's matches, and he played the best receiver in the actual NFL right now, Justin Jefferson, in at the college. It was actually the college 225 game, and it's just, I'm finding it very entertaining, and I'm just like, I want to play. So we'll see if it lasts. It looks like it's really in depth with like formations and changing coverages and plays on the fly. So there's a lot to learn, but what the
I
hell?
think it'd be interesting if you would since you were playing on the Super Nintendo, or no, you're playing on the NES, the Techmo
Super
Bowl, right?
Nintendo. Super Nintendo.
Okay, so it'd be what if you just, because did you do the full season?
Yeah, yeah. And
You could have
it
done the
keeps full seasons.
season,
It keeps
you could have done full
stats.
season on N64, a full season on GameCube, full season on like Xbox 360, and then
Nah.
you know, to compare.
I don't know what the best N64 football game is, but I know it's not Quarterback Club 98.
Don't be hating on my quarterback.
That's the one I have, though.
Quarterback club.
I got 96 for the
I
Super
mean-
Nintendo T, and it's like, it took me 20 attempts to complete a pass in the training mode because it's all timing based.
God.
It's like super
Yeah.
simulation. I didn't even play a game. I'm just trying to.
For me, it's obviously it's slim pickings on the N64 for football. You got Madden or Quarterback Club basically. I liked Quarterback Club initially because I thought the graphics looked really good. It was really nice graphics for the time. Run game is challenging.
Yeah.
But I got pretty good at it. So
I did
yeah,
actually.
it's a good game.
The Super Nintendo version has some of the best graphics of any. Like, it's like sprite based 3D. It's crazy. And I did play a couple drives with the Lions and Barry Sanders. I couldn't complete a pass, but I did rush for like a 60-yard touchdown. And I was like, I'd never in '98, I was unable to ever run like a long run. I think maybe I hit a 10, 15, 20 yarder, maybe max in my life. In like the second or third rush attempt on Quarterback Club '96 on the Super Nintendo, I ran a long one, but
yeah, I never broke a touchdown run. Nothing. I know I get my 5-6 carry, my 5-6 yards of carry, that kind of stuff, but nothing more.
But
nothing more than that.
Yeah, '95 was the last Aries played. I played 10 Madden 10. It had a Steeler player and a Arizona Cardinals player on the cover. I think it was Fitzgerald and Palomano. What was his name? Troy Palomalo. And I played online, and the dude was just the most. He was running the same formation with the Cowboys, where it would hike it to the running back, and he could either run it or throw it. And I couldn't stop him, and it was just like unstoppable. I only gave it one game, and I was like, "Fuck, I ain't playing online anymore." It was so weak of me to just give up. But yeah, so that's gonna be.
Hey, people be doing some bullshit, especially online. So.
And I don't have PSN, so I can't even play online. So.
Oh. I remember this one dude I was playing NFL 2K, and dude, he would, then we started up, he went to some substitutions and just changed everybody out. He changed, I think he was on the Falcons, and he changed like his quarterback, I think it was back then, changing the fucking Allen Rossum and shit, the punt returner, and that bit I couldn't do anything. That bit, he would hike the ball to Allen Rossum and it was just gone.
That's what this guy did. He put the fastest player on the Cowboys, and he would run a wildcat, and it would hike to the running back, and he could either run it or he could throw it, and it was just impossible. That was the year that
he couldn't stop.
That was the game after the year when the Miami Dolphins introduced the Wildcat, for those that know, and destroyed the Patriots, the best team, and the Dolphins were like one of the worst teams, and they just pulled this crazy formations.
Was that Ricky Williams?
All this trick plays, yeah. So, anyway, I'm definitely not buying it for Switch 2. I don't want to pay. I'm not paying full price for 26.
Yeah.
Plus all the players on the Lions, a lot of the players
wait till the end of the season and get it for $10.
Yeah. They're changing all their jerseys, numbers and stuff, and I'm like, hopefully I can avoid updating and getting new changes, but I don't know what they update, because what would be the point of buying a new game if they just update everything from the previous game? So I'm not expecting that, but
I will say, sports games, I liked playing sports games portably. I talked about PSP and how much I loved Madden on the PSP and whatnot, because there's something about being in grind seasons like on the go, like you can just you don't have to be stuck to your console. And I would play multiple seasons and shit that way, just going out on the bus to school and all kinds of stuff. So it was cool.
Yeah, I usually buy like every generation. I'll buy an NBA 2K. That's like I'll buy it for a new generation.
I'll buy at least one.
So that's why, Switch 2, yeah, I'll probably buy. I don't know if it'll be the first NBA 2K, maybe the second one. We'll see. I don't know. At some point.
Yeah.
Because I do, like you see, I like to go through the. Well, I guess like you too, Juice. Like I like to go through the season specifically. Go through the season.
And nice thing about the Super Nintendo game I have, that was the last good era for the Lions. So they're a good team, and so they're not sucky like some of the other games. I like the 2K, all the 2K games. The Lions were like the worst team, but I mean, look, this looks pretty damn real.
Glossy. It's ridiculous visually now.
Like the shadows from that's accurate for that stadium, and we'll see. It might just all be
playing on Xbox. Holy shit.
That's weird. He's got a PlayStation controller, but it's got Xbox logos. I couldn't quite. I think it might be on PC, to be honest. But that's not Xbox buttons though, because we held his controller up and it had a light bar on it. Unless that was a different.
I saw A though.
Yeah, this is A.
These are all Xbox. Yeah, these are all.
Maybe it just recognizes it as an X. I mean, it's got an Xbox logo, but like I said, there's a shot where he lifts his controller up and it has the light bar of like a PlayStation controller. I don't know if it was this one.
It's technically like impressive, but I will always personally say that I just feel like in terms of realism, like that far away shot looks pretty damn.
Like
But
before you
I
put
always
up
feel
the plays, the route, like I mean, if you're somebody was
no,
far
but
enough
I mean
away.
like
Just
I just
walking
mean
by the living
like
room.
character model wise, I always feel like that there's still other ones that are better in the industry, and you would think that sports games would be the literal best, personally to me. But
Yeah.
But also has a lot
You're
of
just walking by the living room and you look in, you see somebody playing
there's
this on the screen, or you
22
replay.
characters
It's
on
like
the
a real
screen
fucking game.
at once, all animating and stuff. So I don't know if that's a limitation, but I mean, just seeing
yeah,
there's a lot. It's come a long way since the last time I played a game. So
of course. But I just I just think about like considering how they do it every year and everything. I'm like I
yeah.
can't believe it's not the literal leading when it comes to like realism in terms of
Monopoly, I don't like that shit. I don't like it.
But I'm absolutely still
I don't like
loving
it.
Tecmo Super Bowl on the Super Nintendo, like especially with
That's
that's
awesome.
on my OLED TV when I put the scaler up there. I was like, holy shit! Like these colors look so like
Yeah.
much better than they did on my monitor, and like it's funny because it's sprite
So
based,
it's
but
like
when a character gets knocked down, like he's like you could just tell he's like his legs are together. It's his you see his backside. It's impressive for what
his
it is.
actor.
Um,
I remember my friend told me a story. I think it was Techno Super Bowl. He was playing. Him and his friend were playing together on the same team, and they were playing against the computer, I guess. And they both were playing defense, and they both went after like the ball, and they basically hit him at the same time. And he said he must have hit the guy so hard that the game glitched because they must have ripped him in half because like I don't know if that was Techmo Super Bowl. He said the fucking ambulance came out and got him twice.
Oh really? I know
I just
when
thought that was the funniest shit. Yeah,
Madden 94,
I was like,
95
what?
had injuries like that. With
It was Madden.
with an ambulance. This has injuries, but I don't.
The ambulance came out.
It's just players.
He said it came out twice in one play. They hit him so hard the game.
I can't find like a good upload of Tecmo Super Bowl because I don't know if people are using the scaler. These are all older because it's kind of
That's
blurry
true.
looking.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that you see a lot of especially when it comes to older games, there's still not that many people
This
with
one looks
newer
pretty good.
hardware doing stuff with it.
Leave it to Juice to like, I'm gonna revitalize my my retro gaming here. I'm gonna start playing Super Nintendo games, and he picks Tecmo Super Bowl of all the like.
I didn't even know it
classics you
existed
can
on
play.
Super Nintendo though.
That's hilarious.
So for those that haven't,
What?
I didn't know that was ever a Super
You
Nintendo
knew-
game. I would have freaking played it.
Tecmo Super Bowl?
I thought it was just NES. So this is
It Super Tecmo?
Tecmo Super Bowl.
can't remember what it's called.
It's just called Tecmo Super Bowl. So this is the game I'm playing.
Okay.
This is the graphics. I've played 2 full seasons, and I'm starting my 3rd season. It's still fun though. I play it very like simulation based. Like I play it like it's real. Like I'm
Okay.
punting, kicking field goals.
Yeah.
And even though you can just throw the ball 100 yards.
Yeah, this
But
game,
look at the animations,
game's
like
classic.
Yeah.
when they dive there, they can get up. Like there's
It blew our
animation.
mind back in the day. I mean,
And I didn't honestly. I
Some,
didn't see
some
this game
viewers
back
are
in the
like,
day. I
"What?"
saw the NES one is way less. With the animations, like they got shadows. You can see like the shadows of their pants. Has like the inner part has like darker than the outer. It's just I'm surprised at how much or how good it actually looks, and I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy. Oh, he's punting, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
like these little. I like the
It's,
little transitions to like the. They're not
yeah,
really
it's perfect. Like the speed is great.
It's all instant.
The speed from trends from the the body guide hunting to
And we get a first down, like it shows the ref, or second down or third down. Like there's a lot of cool stuff, and the music's really good. Like these Tecmo games, the original Tecmo Bowl is one of the most like recognizable, one of the most recognizable like game soundtracks for me because I played it so much. But I just love. But yeah, it's quite the difference. I mean, and I can appreciate this.
yeah, like quite the difference.
My dad used to say when I was
Yeah.
playing Madden 93 on the Super Nintendo, I can't even tell what's happening. How do you even know what you're doing? It's like, because I know.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, you don't know football, then, bro. What you mean?
Oh, I turned it off. Right
This day old, you're gonna feel old. Just in just a few months, the NES is 40 years old. God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in August I think it came out in New York initially.
Yeah.
Letty,
Well, that's why,
That's
like,
crazy.
even when I did my Mario's Missing video, I always like to say how many years it's been. I say it was 32 years since the original release, which I don't have as many
I don't
episodes
even
where it's
talk
that
about it
long.
anymore.
But it's
30.
like 32 years. Eventually, it'll be 52 years, 79 years, 134.
I won't know. I won't know about no 79. Maybe you will, but
Well,
I'll
I
be.
don't.
I'll hit
Yeah,
to the upper
well,
room.
yeah. I actually hope I would, because that would be like 40. I mean, 30 years from now. Yeah, that's crazy.
So anyway, figured we just I'd share that story, and now that Terrell, haven't heard from him. I guess he's not coming. It's 2 weeks in a row. I think we've lost him. Is he breaking up with us?
Yeah,
there he is.
Look at that. A new Pokemon has appeared.
Holy
Just
shit!
like that.
You summoned him.
That's
You
crazy. You summoned him.
He probably didn't hear
That
me.
is, wow. That was
Like the
legitimately.
second
he probably
you like
didn't.
it, he ditched us and he showed up.
Holy shit!
I thought he was breaking up with us, and then all of a
That
sudden
was
he shows up.
weird. That was so weird.
I was literally saying, I don't know if Terrell's showing up.
Why?
It's 2 weeks in a row. If he doesn't, I think he's breaking up with us. And then your
And you
icon popped
instantly
up.
were like that.
And you went bullet.
No, I took a nap and I woke up late. That's what
Okay,
that
Robert.
was.
I was
Hey, man,
I was sleeping.
That's what I used to
Remember
do.
when
so
Robert
I
slept through the Game of the Year podcast?
God damn.
He didn't have a game of the year. It didn't matter. So
No,
That was before.
2019.
That's
That
when
was
he used to.
2019. I had plenty. I had plenty. Which
sure.
that was a year where everyone was talking about Luigi Mansion 3. It was so funny. Like
I
literally
think it was
every
my
single
number
thing
3 that year.
It would be like no, but it was funny because it'd be like best visuals, and everyone was like Luigi Mansion 3, Luigi Mansion 3. And then it'd be like,
Best
oh, what's
sound.
your number 3? Luigi Mansion 3. And then what's
It was somebody's number 1, I think, or close.
it was both
Cactus.
and T's number 1.
That was Resident
I
Evil
don't
2
remember
remake
that
and
shit.
Control that year.
Well, I just saw it. Like I literally just saw it. I was like,
Fantastic.
Control was
Yeah.
number 2. Resident Evil 2 remake was number 1 for me.
What was
yep.
my number
And then
one? then?
Evan, do you remember yours, Terrell?
No.
Pokemon.
2019. Yep, Pokemon.
What was
Sword
mine
and
then?
Shield. And then yours was 2019.
Was there Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah,
No.
that was yours.
Nope.
Um.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Mario Maker 2. Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh, that came out that year?
yeah. it came
That
out
must
that
have
year.
been
Mario Maker
5
2,
for
still
me.
playing it?
6 years ago, man.
And number 2 was Days Gone. That was interesting.
2? What?
Yeah.
Who had 2 Days Gone?
Retro?
Oh, but it's
Damn.
funny. I
Was
just
that
also heard the
retro?
top
Retro?
10 I heard the
Mario
top 10
Maker
games of the
2,
decade.
man. Holy shit.
Would you
Wait, you put Mario Maker 2 as your number 1 over
So fucking
Days
good.
Gone?
still?
No,
Would
but
you?
he had-
Eternal
he had-
Mario?
Would you still put it at? You wouldn't put
I mean,
Days
Mario
Gone
Maker
ahead
2,
of
man,
it?
is unlimited Mario levels, man. You gotta put that
Like,
over
I
Days
know,
Gone.
that's like
Damn.
hard to say, really, like, after this long now, but I put Mario Maker 2 fucking up there. Absolutely, I put it up there.
Yeah.
I mean, one was.
You
why
also
Because
had
Mario
Days
Maker
Gone
2,
on your...
everything that it, not just to make this about Mario Maker 2 now, but like it added like an actual story mode that people wanted. It added like all these extra things and everything. The online multiplayer, even though it was kind of garbage, it added it.
That was
you know,
garbage.
like-
Yeah, that was bad.
like-
It had everything the
Mario
first
Maker
game
2
had
was
more,
incredible.
but it
Mhm.
just didn't catch fire like the first game for me.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it wasn't as intuitive to
Surprising.
make levels
That too.
first game.
But
And also, on the top 10 games of the decade, though, he had Days Gone already on his top 10 10 games of the decade.
I hope,
Already.
I'm a little disappointed for those. I don't know. Retro's planning on getting a Switch 2 now, and he's gonna. And he asked, and I was cool with it. I think everybody was cool with it. I don't know if T saw that, but
Yeah.
have you put
Yeah.
you listed your PS5 on Marketplace yet, or?
I finished writing my ad today because I had the box in the basement. I was like, damn, I didn't even fucking know how much memory this bitch had. So I need to fucking get the box to like look it up. Because whenever I tried to look it up online, nothing
1
anywhere
terabyte.
said it. Yeah, exactly. So I finished it. I'm gonna like post it like.
That's what it is,
tonight
1
or
terabyte?
tomorrow.
I don't know what I thought.
Just
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure you I had quite the process doing a factory reset because I hit something wrong,
Oh,
and I had
really?
to like do a have them send me an email and like do a
What?
USB. I had to do a
What?
download something on a USB drive. I hit something. I did the wrong thing, and I like
You-
put it into safe mode, and it wouldn't recover. And because before I
Oh
sent it to
no.
Terrell, and I had to go to the website, put a USB drive in my computer, download the operating system, and reinstall it. Like I can't remember
That
what
is wild.
I can't remember what option I selected, but it was the wrong option. And I was like, shit. But actually, it definitely wipes when you do it that way. It's it 100% wipes it. But
it's
That's
a
crazy.
farewell for his PS5.
Yeah, I still have been giving you 70. So how about, is there a Switch 2 game you're looking for, Juice? Because I know you're so excited about it.
I'd take a
I know you
side.
want the Donkey Kong Bonanza, right?
I mean, I would
Shit.
at this point. I mean, if I get the Mario Kart bundle, I don't really have anything I was planning on buying
Metroid Prime 4.
Well, that-
No, I know about
I mean,
like
I
the
wouldn't
game
mind
that-
buying Cyberpunk. I don't know that I was gonna like open it and play it or anything. If Street Fighter 6 wasn't a game key card, I'd say that for sure. But yeah,
Well,
we'll
welcome
think
to
about
more.
it.
Welcome to
Right.
it.
I was gonna say, since you wouldn't be paying for it, would it matter at that point? Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. If somebody else was getting it on Switch, because the
What?
only
Which
reason
one?
I'd get it was to be able to play like online.
Wait, get what?
Play somebody else.
Street Fighter 6,
It wa-
Oh,
just for the
I
online.
mean, I could get it on Switch too.
why
I'm-
you say
I was-
like
I'm
reluctantly?
planning on getting it eventually, but I don't know what platform at this point. For that.
Yeah, I would have bought a no-brainer if it was
Well,
on
but my
Cloud,
thing is-
man.
Crossplay? You can't play like between
I
platforms
think
anyway.
so. I don't have PSN.
don't
but I don't
know.
think so.
I
Oh,
don't
that's right.
think
We
so.
have PSN. Right, that's right.
I don't think this.
Yeah, I don't have PSN
Right.
either. So, it wouldn't
So
be-
the one downer though is you'll never. Well, you may at some point, but you won't get to play Days Gone remastered at 60 FPS, man.
Ha
Or you didn't even have to buy the remaster, just the 60 FPS PS4
The
Pro.
PlayStation
I would
patch.
tell you, Retro.
I'm
I don't think
gonna-
you will, but you should run through Ratchet. Then I mean, it's not that long of a game.
I'm
run through
gonna
Ratchet.
I'm gonna get a PlayStation 5 back at some point. It's just priorities right now and what I can do, and I can't miss out on a Mario Kart, man, for like half a year. I fucking can't. And I can wait with the PlayStation 5. That's why. So I'm getting it back at some point, and I'll definitely get the Days Gone stuff, and finish all those games, Spider-Man 2, all that stuff. I'm so excited for that. It's just priorities, man. That Mario Kart, come on, man. Like,
And I hope somebody, I haven't, when I sold all my gaming stuff, because I kept the box, I always got, my money
What
back.
if you put in the title of your ad, "Price going up soon"? I don't know. Is that, can you
I'm
hey,
looking
price
around
going-
also at based on PlayStation
Yeah,
spelling and everything.
Like Best Buy
Put it
still
in
has.
before the tariffs. Get this business out before the tariffs hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because right now they started talking about it, so it's like at any point you don't know when they're gonna do something. So you would think that maybe you could even title like, "Hey, potentially going up soon."
Or just when you talk, if somebody's trying to lowball you, say, hey, this tariffs, Sony already said that they're going to have to raise some prices. I'm not going any
Oh,
lower.
this is your best bet.
Sometimes, though, I've played hardball and then ended up, like, months going by and not selling the thing, and then I ended up selling it for what I turned down before. But
Yeah, but I mean, you should
game
be able to
systems,
sell
I've never
PS5.
had an issue. I've always gotten like as much or more than I expected. Like my original Switch, like I know yours is a PAL version, but it's region locked. Like the original Switch models I sold mine for $300 because people want them because they can hack it. And it says even you gotta go to the listing and put 0-001 model or whatever. And those are the ones, like, I couldn't believe I got $300 for that, but I had the box. It was in good condition. And
Bitch is hacked.
is it?
I can do anything I want to do on it, but what Nintendo? What?
So the guy I work with, the PC guy who listens to Linus all the time, he's always looking to throw the bad Nintendo news at me. So did you hear? I'm like, what? Nintendo's gonna brick systems if people modify it and
For somebody who doesn't pay attention to things, he always has the
and I
negative
said,
Nintendo
well,
stuff to talk about.
I said I remember people talking about hacking the Wii and telling you like, yeah, don't go online because you know, don't try to use like Wii U specifically too. Like don't try to go online or update your games or anything or update your software because Nintendo's going to see that it's hacked and they could brick your system. Like that's been a thing. That's nothing new from what I can tell.
I love how people are pretending like Nintendo now is like, oh, Nintendo is making all the prices expensive. Nintendo is the only one bricking all that console starting today. Like you said, different companies have been doing that
I think
already.
that, I don't know about bricking systems, but they banned people.
Yeah, has it in their terms where where it's like the same wording, and so it's like I'm like, why was this even like a thing where it's like, oh.
I think they just did it to try to maybe protect themselves legally.
It's absolutely to protect. Absolutely,
but it's like
Nintendo won the console war, see, and there's a lot of people upset about that. Anything they can come up with to try to put dents, cracks.
Well, here's the thing, though. PC guys are used to be able to do whatever you want. Overclocking, hacking, mods, and it's just a different mindset. I said, dude, it's Nintendo. I said, I get it. On one hand, if you buy a Switch 2 or a Switch and you want to solder a chip on it so you can go right ahead, it's your system, you own it. But don't expect you can just go on and use Nintendo's online services and not have to worry about any ramifications for doing that. Like, you can do it all you want, but then don't expect to get all the Switch online features and all the benefits of an online system and still think you're going to run ROMs of emulated games or pirated games. Like, I just don't understand why you think that's a problem. Like, it's just, I didn't even I wasn't even gonna argue with the guy. Just they've been doing that forever. Systems do that. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. What did you think I was gonna say?
Bitches, get over it. They won the console war. It's over. Be mad. Okay, just be mad.
No, dude, they're doing their own thing. It don't count.
Well, it's the streamers too, the YouTubers who got burned back in the day with Nintendo's bad policies that are still angry with Nintendo. And
still about it.
Yeah. Like Angry Joe. Angry Joe probably to this day he probably will never review a Nintendo first party game. Because of the Mario Party on the Wii U. He bought the Wii U, he bought all these controllers, they did their usual hour-long video with skits and Nintendo claim their video.
The same with those.
So now you owe me, Nintendo. You owe me. I bought all this shit.
But they were really stupid back then, like flagging
it was
anything.
Dumb for sure, but like Jesus, I don't get it.
And I've noticed.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. A couple channels I'm surprised when like ACG or ACG, he did like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 review a couple years ago, and I was like, wow, like. He doesn't do Nintendo reviews. I was surprised to see it on his channel. I don't know if what he's done since then, but not a lot. People still to this day think that
Charlie, what's his name? Moist Critical. He's always super critical when it comes to Nintendo. He's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, he'd be like,
come on,
really hard. And he always talks about they make amazing
like
games.
This the whole deal. He's like, Nintendo was just, they did the worst company. We understand that. We all understand.
That's exactly what Linus said, and that guy repeated. Yeah, Nintendo's like they're definitely the worst company. Like, what?
Hey,
no, they're not. They're one of the best companies.
Views, man. People built the fucking half their channels these days of the hating on the Wii U and shit.
I'm upset that I just can't hack all their games and not buy them. And it's like, what culture are we creating here? This is nonsense. It's bad.
You got any thoughts on it, Ash?
No. Nah. I've been skulking around the YouTube. I've seen a lot of boycott Nintendo from the whole Switch 2, everything with the Switch 2 in terms of the pricing, the game pricing, people being like it's the most anti-consumer. It's been and the agreement was just like another notch. I think when Microsoft announced their $80 games, Angry Joe made that video. The first way he started the video off was, "Thanks, Nintendo." That's how he started the video, if I remember correctly. That was like the first thing, and that was the first thing for everybody. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, I thought I said the same
fucked
thing.
us again. and it
These
became
years,
this.
industry has just been following Nintendo. Whatever Nintendo does, everybody has to do it. Right? That's how it's been going, right? For the last 20 years.
Like, what about the part where they also increased the console price? What does that have to do with Nintendo? That part, like, that has nothing to do with
because people can't decide whether or not they think the Switch 2 is overpriced or not. I've seen a decent number of people who will say, no, the console's fine. But then I see like this subsection of people who are angry about everything else who are like, yeah, and the console's expensive too. And you're like, well, hold up, wait a minute. I think we need to narrow our focus.
Have
here
they not
so we
seen the
understand
comparisons
what the
with
critique
Steam Deck?
is.
Like,
They
I don't think.
You think the Switch 2 console is expensive? You full of shit. You
Yeah.
just, that's it. You're just full of
The
shit.
issue making the comparison to
You
Steam
don't know
Deck
anything.
is that people don't care because the Steam Deck is open. Because you can do whatever you want on the Steam Deck. People don't care.
except
that
play
the
physical
Switch-
games.
Well, yeah, that was the conversation. That was the conversation. Well, that was the conversation I was making. That like Nintendo, unfortunately, has put themselves in a catch-22 situation where they're the only hybrid console maker who still puts out physical titles, and it's a medium that's barely being used. Therefore, it's expensive to make.
There's definitely
parts.
some flaws
It's
with
why.
it.
Which, as a result, means that if you're the only one putting out carts for it, they're not going to be cheap. So your options are either you take the hit financially or you pass it on to the third party, who will inevitably pass it on to the consumer. It's not great, and I recognize people's frustrations with it, but like, I'm also like, if you own a Nintendo Switch, it's the same fucking problem, realistically, the same shit we had with the Switch. Remember, we kept calling things the Switch tax for a reason. Because we dealt with the same shit where we were just, why am I spending $10 more on the Switch version and not the PS4 version's right there because it's hybrid, it's portable.
And a lot of those games are already discounted by the time they came to Switch, though.
Well, I think what people don't realize is I'm like, the portability is still a selling point, ladies and gentlemen. I get that there are other things out in the wild, but like that's a part of
that sold 20 copies. Like, come on.
It's
I love the deck. I love my Legion Go, but them bitches ain't selling 150 million units. They're just not doing that. So to try to compare it to, I got the Steam Deck, so for the on the go. Yeah, all 5 of us, we all have Steam Decks. Like, but most people don't have Steam Decks for that, or have Legion Goes, or Rogue Allies. No, most people don't have that.
The Steam Deck,
and they're not gonna buy it.
Last I saw, this is probably a year plus ago, didn't even work hooked up to a 4K TV. Like it was flickering and stuff. I don't know if they probably fixed that now.
Yeah,
I think it does now.
Mine works.
Games don't look very good. It's not. There's definitely more focus on portable.
First of all, you don't want to blow it up to a 4K TV.
No, I mean the Steam Deck is more portable, more geared towards portable than I feel the Switch 1. You know, I think the Switch 1 is geared towards portable. It's definitely the Steam Deck that's where it's meant to be. Like, I mean,
it's a compliment to PC gamers. Like, you can now you can take your PC games on the go. It
never had a very
really
good
meant
docked
to be
experience.
To a B or a dock. Yeah, it's not really meant to do that. I do it, but it's not really meant to do that.
And you know, the Switch 1, some games don't look very good on a bigger TV, and some games look better than on the bigger TV. Than like Smash Ultimate looks great on both. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 looks better on the TV. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks better on the TV. But I thought Doom looked better on the handheld. You know, some games didn't look as good blown up, and other games did. So I think the Switch 2, for all the discourse, all the, you know, people upset if it gets compared to a PS4 or a PS5, it's still a very adequate, very pleasing, because just watching the YouTube footage of games on my the TV I'll be playing my Switch 2 on, a 77-inch TV, I was like, this is a perfectly fine looking version of Cyberpunk. Like, it's obvious once I blew it up from looking on my phone to putting it on a TV. I could see the cutbacks from what I was used to seeing playing the game on PS5, but it's still a very pleasing looking version of the game. Like, it's, you know, it's not, you're not making too many huge sacrifices unless you're coming off PC ultra ray tracing settings. It's gonna be fine. Street Fighter 6 looks great. Final Fantasy 7 looks great. So the docked experience has significantly improved, in my opinion, over Switch 1, especially with the multiplats. So, and you know, I haven't seen obviously handheld in person, but everyone says, you know, it looks great. The only downside, it's not a huge downside, but for me, I was looking forward to the VRR variable refresh rate for games that do have alternating, not consistent frame rate, is not supported in dock mode. It's only in handheld. So I don't know if that's something they can patch later. The other thing too is a lot of variable refresh rate is more 30 to 60 and above. Like there's the PS5 only starts at 45 FPS and above. So if a game drops down below 45, it doesn't even work. So you know, lower frame rate games, it's not as big of a, it's not that useful. But you know, that's something I was a little disappointed in. But we'll have to see when the games, you know, when I'm playing them for real. But whatever, I think they made a huge improvement. What I said about the Switch 1, the Switch OLED, the Switch Pro, they need to make the docked experience much better with the next.
Agreed.
Switch.
That seemed to be a big push for the two. That the dock experience feels more like a traditional, hey, I'm just turning on a console and playing the game experience. So I appreciate that, because you can't call it a hybrid if you don't focus on both. I feel like as time went on and the Switch was more and more proven to be successful, and we had more and more PC hybrids come out, people forgot about the hybrid nature of the console as like a selling point. I think a lot of people still look, at least online, I won't say in general, but a lot of people online,
that's an online thing, trust me.
They want to look at the Switch as like just a handheld, which unfortunately I feel like is disrespectful, because then they feel like they can get away with arguments being like, well, so it's not worth $450. I'm like, no, we're not gonna pretend like there isn't a dock that comes in it right there that doesn't give you essentially a console experience as soon as you get out of the box. Like it's disrespectful, but it's easier to downplay Nintendo when you look at it as just a handheld. That's why.
It's still crazy though, even comparable. This is what I said this I don't know, 3-4 podcasts ago, when I was ranting about what Linus had said, and the guy at work was just parroting what he said, and I'm like, somebody who reviews graphics cards, knows tech, knows how expensive PC components have gotten, and not even one mention of the price of the Switch 2 compared to the Steam Deck and how it outperforms it, and even considering the prices of everything has gone up. Not even a mention of that. It's just, oh, well, inflation, people don't make as much anymore. You know, all of a sudden that's, you know, the only issue is with the Switch 2. It's like, you know, people weren't making money when the PS5 came out and the Xbox came out for $500. That argument works for anything that's ever been released in the last couple years. You could say, well, the inflation has increased the price.
Released ever.
It's
Bitch,
like,
you remember the launch of the PS3? Fuck out of here. And Sony told you to get another job to buy it. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? This is just
I think people want
recency bias nonsense.
I think people want to do the comparison with other terrible statements, like the whole Dom Matrick thing with the whole, well, you know, we have
I
another.
saw that, like, get out of here.
I'm
You're
like,
not
guys,
trying to do that.
I think my problem will always be with that situation is like, I don't know what you were supposed to say, and that's it. What is the better option of what you say when you're asked, what do you say to people who can't afford a Switch 2? What do you tell them? What is the right
sell your
thing to tell them?
PS5.
Or
Like, what's the right thing to tell them that they wouldn't have gotten roasted for online? Because I don't really know what the hell it is.
Well, it's a magic. He was clearly peeved. He was annoyed, and he just kind of snapped a little bit. So I think he could have said what he said a lot better. He's just like, why are you asking me this question? Basically, you can't get online and go buy our old system, bitch.
Yeah.
Basically, he was saying he was just annoyed by the question. But you can do better with your PR speak as a company to not come off as an asshole. And still say what you're saying.
Here?
I mean,
it's hard
to compared to
this is Steam Deck and Switch 2 from the YouTube. It's Steam Deck Direct.
Ain't no way in hell you're gonna get anything out of this.
I was pretty impressed. Look at the difference, man. That's quite a bit sharper though.
Yeah, and I'm streaming
How
at
can you tell?
I'm streaming at the higher quality, but you
Yeah.
got to look at it yourself on a bigger TV. The one on the left is
Yeah, and
look at
I've
the
seen
text.
this.
Look how blurry the
I'm
text
saying
is.
through
I'm not saying.
Discord and then through
honest with
YouTube. How can you tell?
Yeah, that's true. But
No,
for you
if
guys,
you go up to the beginning, like that shit was generally like way like you could tell the resolution. Like,
and
you could
this
see the
is the Switch
Yeah,
2's
you can see it directly. You
YouTube
can
is
tell
a
it's
YouTube video he took versus I'm guessing direct feed from his Steam Deck. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Well, as a Steam Deck owner who didn't know anything about a Switch 2 at the time, I saw Cyberpunk on Steam Deck, and I was like, nah, bro, it's too blurry. It don't look right. Yeah, you can definitely see the sharpness difference even through this.
There's
And
quite
the
a bit of
text.
shortage difference.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like
I mean, just look at the
the
text.
text,
The text. Look at the text.
Oh,
The
look
text
at
is
it.
always on
That's-
screen.
that's
There's-
huge.
and this isn't even taken into account. I think he's got the settings, so it's he said he went off all the posts on Reddit and stuff for the best frame rate and visuals you can get on Steam Deck. Basically, what everyone had done all the testing and just did what they did, and it's like 800p. Obviously, you blow that up. DLSS. I mean, Switch 2 is only 1080p with DLSS, but it still looks sharper. It looks cleaner. It's not as blurry. The text is sharper.
No, I gotta be honest. It's actually more of a difference than I thought it would be. To be honest with you, I'm actually quite surprised.
Let's see if there's any like outdoor shots. It's probably gonna be hard to match, like outdoors.
Yeah, the outdoor is gonna be harder because you're not seeing.
But
things
it's
up
way
close, like-
softer. And it's just they're the same price device. Steam Deck has a more
It's
expensive.
DLSS. Also.
Yeah, I mean, if the Steam Deck had DLSS, I bet it would probably outperform the Switch too, overall.
Yeah, but I mean, it does.
Because it's doing this native, maybe with some kind. I actually know the Steam Deck does use like a FSR. It uses Intel's
I was gonna say,
Intel's
I don't think that's
upscaling.
true.
But
Yeah, my thing is, you can't even bring up if this had DLSS because.
either way, the end result for a similar price as the base Steam Deck, not the OLED one. So I don't know how good the Steam Deck's screen is on the original, the LCD one, like the new version. I don't know if they upgraded the screen, but everyone says the Switch 2 screen's
I
really
saw
good.
it. It's I remember because I ended up.
Yeah,
bought
you did.
one
You
on
did
accident.
have. Yeah.
It was better, but nothing to home about.
So yeah, I mean, it's
Well, and
the
also,
same
at the end of
price,
the day-
and it's outperforming it in the multiplayer. Obviously, it's been
Well, no, but-
optimized for Switch 2, the game.
But I think it's not the same price. We always say, if you're being honest, like you're looking at the very base that it and it doesn't include a dock that
Yeah,
what a
that's true.
Switch is and does, and it
It
would
doesn't have a
automatically
controller.
make it more
Yeah,
expensive.
that's the
And
when I made my
attached.
comparison video. That was like one of my big things. Other people want to act like it's
They're
the
not
same
that's right,
price.
they're not the same price. If
This-
you want
to get
you have to pay more.
the same type of experience out of the box, you have to buy extra stuff for a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
And not only that, but again, people love to ignore the fact that you go a little bit more in storage, you're bumping it up $100 more than the Switch too. Like, people
Well, you
love
can add
that.
$100 for bumping the Switch 2 storage up too.
Yeah, we're talking about it's 256, right? So
Storage
the-
and get it for 60. So like regardless, like in the end of the day, like you bump it up again, you're going $200 more, and regardless,
I
cheaper to buy
think what people
Switch
I
2.
think what people need to be fair about is there's a reason why even though there's a bunch of PC hybrids out there, there's a reason why you can only compare the Steam Deck. It means because the shit's expensive and you can't
Right,
do
and
this. Like, we're not gonna sit here and act like
you realize they don't do this with the ROG Ally.
Let's see how
they don't
much
do this
that
with the Legion
costs.
Go,
because they can't.
because
They can't.
right?
Let's look up
This
the
is
ROG Ally.
expensive. To
Steam
do to do this hybrid shit is expensive, okay?
Yeah.
And as a result, people want to act like people don't want to acknowledge that. That's why they just say, "Well, the Steam Deck can run it." Yeah, but the Steam Deck also had to make its own sacrifices, and we also know they're not coming out with a sequel to it anytime soon. So you can't even say no bullshit like the Steam Deck 2. Like this is what you got. This
So
is
the
what
ROG
you got.
Ally 512 gigabyte version, 650 is the cheapest one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's cheap
The
as well.
Nevo goes
Because the
on
shit-
sale
because the
right
shit's
now for
expensive.
600, 512, 16 gigs of RAM.
A Steam Deck OLED is
And
650.
Nintendo's the only one that's doing physical media.
So that's
Yeah, and
we-
again, also, you need
you can't compare there.
If you want to do a Switch, you need to buy a separate thing.
mhm.
You know, that's the whole point. Like, I don't play handheld. I play on my TV. I need to buy a separate thing. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You will be like, stupid.
Well, why would you buy a Steam Deck or well, I guess the Switch is fine, but why would you buy a Steam Deck if you don't play handheld?
But exactly is my thing is like
Yeah.
okay, well, hey, in the end of the day, like you're raving to, but like, bro, you're forgetting what a Switch is. It's in the name.
There's nothing in the box. There's no. I mean, you get a charger, you get an adapter. That's about it.
Woo!
That's what comes in the box.
Woo!
You get a power adapter.
Power my system, baby.
Deck dock, a Steam Deck dock.
I'm gonna guess like a USB dock, a decent one's probably gonna be 50, 60.
Well, if you get
80.
it from Steam themselves, it's 79.
You can get a good one for 30. No, I'm saying 40. But I mean that's $40 more. Now
That's
you're
right.
at 450.
But and to be fair, as for everything,
and you
if
still ain't got no controller yet, bitch.
But
That's
too,
true.
like if you buy it straight from Valve, you know, if you buy it on Steam, it's 79 right now.
So it's just silly
So
to
it's
me.
like-
It's like, how are we even discussing the price? Like,
Because it's the only like
I haven't
Conversation.
heard
Looking at
anybody
this
really
price,
challenging
and
the price
I'm
of the
wondering
system.
I've heard
what
a
is
few
Nintendo's
people.
margins on the hardware, because they can't be much.
Somebody,
can't be making
yeah,
much.
somebody posted what they thought the build cost was, but it was close to 400. I want to say
It's pretty close.
that's not,
it's pretty
like,
close.
boxes, shipping, all
From
that.
what
Right.
from what I had read, that cheap version that Japan is getting, they're selling that one at a loss, and they're only selling the rest of the world. It's only at a very slight profit margin, like very slight. So
while we're talking about this, Nintendo released like detailed spec stuff. Like, it was crazy. I didn't.
What do you think?
Yeah, so
yeah, it did.
there's
It's a
12
new
gigs.
Nintendo, y'all. It's a new Nintendo.
12 gigs of RAM. They talked about some of the like the processor, not a whole lot of the. I don't know if they have like the, what do they call the
Well, someone else
speed of the
apparently-
RAM, speed of the memory, and there's another speed thing that has to do with that.
Well,
was a
that and
bottleneck
also
in
around the
Switch
same
One.
around the same time, people also I think there was a couple of YouTubers I saw who got the actual board itself.
Yeah.
Which I think linked up to everything that Nintendo said anyway. And they
But
did
that
some
didn't
test
tell you how
runs.
much was being allocated. So it's an 8-core CPU, but 2 of them are
Oh, that's right,
locked
yeah.
away just for the operating system. Obviously, I'm assuming at least one of those cores is for the game chat. And then out of the 12 gigs of RAM, 3 are being used for system. So only 9 available to developers. And the developers have to test their game. Nintendo created a way to replicate worst case scenario with game chat on. So their game has to work. And it's a way to stress the system. And their game has to perform as if game chat is being used with people sharing their screens and stuff. So they can't even take full advantage of the 9 gigs and the 6 cores. They also have to take in account what game chat does to performance and make sure that their game works with that enabled.
What was 16 gigs?
Yeah, but then the price, might have gone up. I don't know.
Price would have went up.
But it's interesting. Would you rather have a game like run worse when you have game chat on, or would you rather, at the cost of,
No, that would be.
or would you rather have
that's
it work fine with game chat, but then the game actually has to be limited for what it could potentially fully be if they could use all the processing power, not have to worry about game chat? Because I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of time I'm not playing game chat, and if a game's
Of course.
got to be held back to make sure, just in case you're using game chat, to not have a difference. 'Cause I'm sure Nintendo has some rule, like, we can't have people choosing not to use game chat because the game looks and runs worse. Like, you have to have your game run with it enabled. But so that means that you have to.
The problem is that this very conversation defeats that argument, because even that, if we didn't know that for a fact, and the fact that we are aware of it now goes, well, every game that runs at like 30 or 45, well, this got a RAM maybe at 60 if they didn't allocate X amount of.
You can already hear the whining.
Well, the operating
Yeah.
system even on Switch 1 used a full core, so there's no way it was going to be all 8 for gaming, but at least 7, you know, and
I mean, but the reason you got that now is because for fucking the last 10 goddamn years, all people have been crying about this fucking game chat. So there you go. Now you have it.
well, they didn't have
And not
to.
only that, but like imagine a thing where it's like, oh, I'm using game chat now as running words. Like it sounds horrible. You can't.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
But it also
if
means
you
they
build
gotta
a
leave.
The
system-
problem is that this conversation is already off the premise that the trade-off is that, well,
They're
now
going
that
to
every game
performance on
works
the
fine.
table. They have to, because if you can't take
That,
full
that
advantage,
performance on performance is hoed before we even start because game chat.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I think
I don't think
performances-
game chat is going to make games run worse. I just
Well,
think
Yeah, they said that it's not, but
the
they- I
problem
think-
is that the narrative is there.
I think
That's
they're
the
gonna
problem.
have
No,
to-
but my
yeah.
thing is that performance will always be an issue because it'll never be at its height that it could be ever because it's not as good as another console. Anyway, no matter what
but
amount of
imagine-
RAM it has, no matter it could have 1 billion gigs of RAM, but it uses 2 of them. Ah, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, there's always going to be a scenario where
Yeah,
someone's
but-
going to say, "Oh, but we could have had better. We could have."
as good as the
Bro, we
games
don't
are
live in that
looking
reality.
right
Like,
now,
that's just it is what it is. It doesn't matter.
if
Like,
the
it
games,
doesn't matter.
knowing what the games look like right now, they look good. But like, knowing that the system itself has the potential, but the game chat might be holding it back. It's not like
All
it's
I
not
know
there.
is this: is
but-
that most games
like the Series
don't
S
look
all
good.
over again.
Yeah, that's why actually I almost typed that in the
Oh.
chat. Game chat is the
I-
Series
no,
S of Nintendo Switch 2 development.
At the end of the day, Series S is getting GTA 6. It don't matter. Like in the end of the day,
And now those cheats aren't rotating at 60 frames; they're only rotating at 45.
but my thing is like it in the end of the day.
Yeah, I think
most-
I don't give a fuck.
No, but also most
I don't
games
care.
look like Cyberpunk, unless you're going for a crazy big budget, and
Yeah.
it runs Cyberpunk fine. So
Right.
as long as developers care to put
Great
their game
point.
on Switch 2, it's going to be on Switch 2. And who
Yes.
gives a fuck? Because no one will ever. I'm telling you, we could have a different universe with 1 billion gigs, but 500 gigs that is used for it. People are going to be like, "Fuck! I can't believe it!" Like we're always
Well,
going to have a conversation.
that's
about
kind of-
that
I
because
mean-
it's not on that specific level. It's
The
just
Switch
always,
2 is not
it's
supposed
always
to
going to be that.
replace
It's
the
always,
Steam Deck.
no matter what. We're always going to be.
It's
There's
not
always going to be
supposed to
someone
replace-
that is going to play Switch 2 and say, "Damn, we don't have that performance. Damn. It's always
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
happen. Year 2, year
I
5,
don't-
year 8.
With the-
Switch
the-
3 is going
the
to come out. And we're going to have the
craziest
same
PCs do that
talk. I
shit.
promise you. Switch 3 comes out. We're going to have the same exact.
But it's a
talk.
little different
And
because it's
Switch
not
4
just
will come
like.
out, and we're going to be 80 years old, and we're going to have the same talk. It's going
But this
to happen.
isn't Nintendo just saying, "Yeah, we're gonna do this much and this." This is actually something that maybe a lot of people aren't gonna utilize, and maybe they will. It's a feature that's seemingly,
People are going to utilize
fairly
it. Maybe not in our
resource
groups, maybe
heavy.
not in our groups, but the people that were in 2020 COVID.
But either
which
way,
was
they
COVID,
put
were
something
going to
in
play it.
that we just. I mean, it's not been proven, but just listening to the way they talk, they have to recreate in their testing environment. Nintendo had to come up with something that pushes the system the same way that game chat, because you can't they can't just always have live game chats having while they're testing their game. So it actually had to create something that pushes the system the same way game chat would. So they added a feature that may or may not be. I mean, I could live without it personally, but I mean, it looks cool. So they actually added something that looks like it's taking away potential performance. Now, the Switch 1 was they just didn't put shit performance in. Like, they scaled the CPU down in half, or just battery life, I guess.
To show Tegra, they call that bitch custom, but that shit ain't custom.
The custom was they clocked it 50% of its clock, except for not
Right.
quite 50. It's like 60%, I think. And actually, Nintendo, to speed up loading times, patched in a way to have it run full speed during loading, so that it would.
And that's
load
what I was about to
quicker.
bring up, the loading time. Because I've been letting my students play my Wii U. They were GameCube, now they're on Wii U, and I forgot how fucking slow.
It's slow.
How slow that bitch is slow. I'm like, holy shit! I didn't remember it being this goddamn slow. But why is it that slow? Could it be like Wada Plaza and all this shit that they put in there? That
It was
bogged
even
it
slower
down?
at launch, if you remember.
Miiverse.
Yeah,
It
they
was
had
definitely
that
slower.
quick menu earlier.
Very quick,
Well, and
but
we
yeah.
learned.
Like,
It's just quicker. That's all it was. It was
I
quicker.
like all that stuff.
Yeah, me
Nintendo
too.
does this every console where it's like they put something in that may affect what it could have been. The
Mhm.
fucking gamepad itself did
Yeah.
that, right? Like
Yeah,
it took a
without
lot of
having to-
resources to run your system off gamepad and then off the TV as well.
But would I take it
So
away?
this is
Hell
what they
no.
do. This is just,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to do it.
Robert
That's
was
what,
way
that's
too
my point. It's like,
enthusiastic about that shit.
Come on, you kidding me?
I
Why would you
would
in and
sacrifice.
still gonna be plugged in?
I don't know if I would do that for game chat. I don't know. I could end up loving game chat, but I don't know that. But I'm just saying this is what Nintendo does.
Mhm.
It's not anything. They sacrifice stuff on their consoles all the time for things that they want to try. So I'm sure that me definitely bogged the system down. Wada Wada Plaza definitely
Well,
bogged
the
the Wii
3DS
down.
got really
Would
slow.
I
with
live
Miiverse.
without them? Right. Do I want to live in a world without those things? Nope. I'll take the time and just wait my ass. and here's the thing: it's funny because the kids, they're way less patient than I am. So they're sitting there like, "Is it working? Is it broken?"
Well, I told you
And I'm
that
like, no, it's
story
just
when I hooked it up.
slow.
Was it this year or late last year? And I'm like, holy shit! Like this is so slow. Everything about this system is so slow. But once I get in the game, it's fine. But it's like, God, I can't resume. I can't suspend this game. Like I turned the system off, and I got to redo it all the next time I turn it on. Goes through this process again. It's crazy how spoiled you get.
No, I mean it's great, but at the same time, I don't care, man. I like turning on my Wii U and putting it in my games.
I'm happy with can we just be happy with these beautiful graphics on a Nintendo
Hell
console?
no.
Can we just be happy? That's like,
Never.
It looks good. It's good.
Don't you ever be happy in this house, god damn it.
I was happy with the Switch, and especially early on, I was like, "Oh,
You being content? You being content on the internet?
I made a video that was popular that people liked.
Who told you to be fine with what you have?
Well,
What do you think this is?
Game chat will be
Why are we
very
talking
similar
about these
to,
things?
like Miiverse, where people said, "Oh, I didn't use the Miiverse." They probably thought the same things. Like, man, we could have had an extra performance. There is
I heard it all the
someone
time.
I don't know about
going to use game
Miiverse,
chat
but
a lot.
Miiverse was always the problem.
it was more
What
the
I'm saying,
gamepad. Was
Yeah, I
the-
don't understand.
Okay,
Miiverse was the problem
A
with
lot of
society.
people had problems with it. A lot of people had problems with it.
Why
But
do
my
you like, this is a waste of time? Why me were
exact- and
Why
they're
put
actually
resources into this?
I just
At the
want to play
end of the day, there's always
Bayonetta at
the-
90 frames. Fuck this shit.
Because my thing is, like, at the end of the day, like there's going to be people out there that will have memories 10 years down the road of game chat.
I remember Bitch Dick.
Yeah.
Never
Let
forget
me-
Bitch Dick.
Let them have it going.
Not everybody has Discord and does what we do. A lot of people don't do that
Not
shit.
everything has to be about me or you or like. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to use this, and they're going to look 20 years down the road and be like, "Fuck, that was awesome." Remember when we used to do the game chat?
Yeah,
Switch?
this was
Hell,
fun.
Well, people do
this
that
felt
about the
like-
Xbox
Let me-
Live
let me-
chat. So
For
yeah.
a lot of people, this is
let
this
Nintendo be
felt like
quirky.
what gaming. Yeah.
Let Nintendo be quirky.
Do you
Yeah,
think?
let them be
Do you think they should force it to be able to be used in every game that releases? Or do you think they could allow a developer to say, you know what, we need
It would
that?
be so strange and not. It's a hardware feature. To me, you have to be able to just use it. Like it'd be
Yeah,
so
it's a hardware feature.
Because they
It's
let
weird.
people
I'm
get
not
developers
playing-
decide not to
Hold on.
use the game recording feature on Switch.
That's so strange to me too. I don't know. I forgot.
I mean, if
about
they
that.
did-
Smash Brothers
Yeah,
didn't even allow you to use that.
You sure?
Did?
Smash?
Nintendo don't even use their own features
Look at
sometimes.
this.
Have we forgotten?
Yeah,
Retro
When you
Retro had a
look
feeling
at-
coming out of him for that one.
Nintendo didn't
Oh,
use.
yeah, I don't know about that actually.
Well, you do gamepad.
Robert, I like all this passion coming through. Retro has one statement. Where I was like, I don't know about that one, man.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure I could record off with Smash. I remember. I feel like I could.
What did the Doom Screen gamepad do when you played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? That went to sleep. Like we ain't doing that.
Mhm. Same with Mario Kart. It just had the track or the horn and the track and horn. Or
It did not.
Yeah.
so.
So I
Like,
don't think they would force.
Let's just say
games or,
hypothetically. Let's
you know,
say
to use it.
Rockstar is like, we need
Robert's
we need
looking
that
it
extra
up.
core. We need 2 more gigs of RAM. Is there any way you can a lockout game chat for this game, and we can get this.
I'm sure Nintendo would be like, "Fuck yeah, bring that shit." You
I
know
just
what I mean?
don't know if that would even.
do it.
I just see Robert on Google being like, "Oh, I think Retro's lying. Let me go check this."
Smash.
No, no,
didn't
no.
allow
I know that
to
you had the
record
recordings.
the
You could make your own
gameplay, but-
recordings. Remember, you do your own replays.
So strange.
So there's some games that just
In order to put like clips of Smash on the internet and shit, you had to like record the
Yeah, you had to,
replay
like, do
in Smash and then use that and stuff. You couldn't use the 30
remember
second.
you upload them to
record feature and
YouTube.
stuff.
To,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If
Yeah.
that's the case, maybe. But I think it would
Not
be
maybe,
quite weird
bitch.
No, but I'm.
I know
I'm
in Doom
saying-
you couldn't.
My thing is the game chat is different because people are literally paying for it. Like it's for a service where it's like, hey, I'm paying for this. I
Yeah.
Not
wanna
until
do whatever I want.
2026, man.
But
No one's paying for
I
it.
just
Games
wondered,
was-
like, I
Rockstar
wonder
kinda released
if a
6
developer said,
before that.
like,
No.
if the developer asked, I wonder
I
if that
don't
would
even
even be
like that.
possible.
I don't like that premise.
What premise?
Paying for game chat. I don't like that premise either. Like, oh, you game chat is locked behind a paywall.
It's probably
Like,
just going to be
you-
attached.
I
to
always
the-
thought
to
that
the
was dumb.
internet.
I always thought that was dumb
But-
because it was locked behind other consoles before, and no one seemed to give a shit then. Like,
Well,
I think
this said
it's
you
not
can't game
game
chat
chat.
if you don't have the internet service for any company, like any studio. Like that's just a weird thing to say.
my
Like,
problem
if
is
you can game chat without the internet, then
my problem
shit
is
would be
that
magic.
people are blaming Nintendo for things that they allowed in the industry years prior. That's what's pissing me off. You can't get mad at Nintendo for certain things when you allowed it on like 2 other consoles and said it was cool, and then was surprised that Nintendo did it.
There's legitimate shit you can complain about. You can complain about Mario Kart World's price. You can complain about fucking $95 control. There's plenty of shit you can talk shit about. Why you got to make up shit? Like shit that
No, well,
just
we might as well
I
get
think,
into.
I think because it's here's the problem, and like here's a narrative, and I was gonna ask this question. I've been seeing recently, like, oh, with all these companies going with these $80 games, all of a sudden, now it's important more than ever to vote with your wallet. See, there are companies that are making games for $40 and $50 that are just as good as AAA games, and I want to sit there in the back and go, this has always been a thing. This has been a thing.
It's always been the fucking thing.
It's always been. But they're doing it now because of the $80 thing. Like, it's created this level of fear mongering where you can create a narrative and be like, well, see, Nintendo doesn't make good games, and Xbox doesn't make good games, and Sony doesn't make good games. But see, Expedition over there, it's sold for 1 million copies. This is an amazing game. And that's not me taking anything away from Expedition, but like, that's always been a thing. Technically, you can make the argument as far as back as like Xbox Live Arcade when you got Super Meat Boy. That was a high quality game compared to some of the shitty
like
third party.
Trials
Exactly.
Evolution was like top tier game for
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
But the
$20.
conversation, but they want to throw that back out in a while because of the $80 thing, and I'm like, guys, we're being stupid. Like it's always by that logic. The Wii games that were $50 were vastly ahead of their time if that was the case. If we're gonna play that game, like
Yeah, I mean, in that case, like, oh well, all these $60 games is like, why don't you support the $50 Mario Galaxy? Oh, it's like kiddie shit, Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, what? At what point?
The problem is that Nintendo, for some reason, every time a console comes out and there's a gap in which people aren't happy with them, but like there's no financial proof whether or not this means anything. It for some reason becomes open season on like every little issue you have with Nintendo. It happened when the Wii U was struggling.
This
boom,
does
here
feel
it comes.
some Wii U.
It happened before the Switch came out. Oh, look at all this doom and gloom. And then what happens? The console sells well, and people have to slowly shut the fuck up because if people didn't want it, they wouldn't be buying the console. And so it's gonna be the same thing with Switch 2. You get all this negative hearsay, and I don't want to get it twisted. There are fair complaints to make about the console and the games and whatever, but
that's what I'm saying.
It's as soon as that console comes out and we hear, 20 million in the first 2 months or some shit like that, it's like, oh, what were y'all talking about? I was trying to say, I was trying to say the game's overpriced. The game's overpriced.
No. Start with these Nintendo bitches. They'll buy anything.
They're already
Nintendo
saying
put
that.
out. It'll start with that.
Nintendo fans.
And then he goes beyond us when it hits like 40 and 50 mil, and it's like that's when it starts getting quiet.
I guess then it's like, I mean, the console's fine or whatever, but it could be better. And you're just like, I see what we've done here.
Their own thing,
They're doing their own thing. That's it.
I'm getting some.
Nintendo not really in the same conversation. They're just doing something different.
They're not mainstream. They only sold 150 million.
Yeah, exactly. See, the goalpost moves and their voices get quieter and quieter until all of a sudden you just hear this whisper like, "Man, Nintendo just passed 150 million sales." Man, it's not that great. It's not that great, man. It's all right. You're like, what the hell is it?
Somehow it's always the
their own little niche red ocean.
You get that and a Switch, even though if you combine PS5 and Series X, they're not up to the Switch's numbers. AK, there are people out there that just have a Switch and not another console because that is their main platform.
Well, that and also Nintendo has multiple Switches in multiple households. Like it's not like most people only buy one PS5, but people got like 3 Switches in the house. Like you ain't going.
I want to be like
how we gonna play Mario Kart together?
I want to be more like Retro Death.
Oh my god!
Nice. You had it in frame and everything.
I got jealous.
That was cool.
Look at this repo box.
Looks like a cereal box. What the fuck?
Glorious.
I'm gonna open it up and eat Goombas for breakfast.
A certain sector hate you for buying is how dare you buy repro boxes?
I have trouble getting them back open though after I close them.
Then don't touch it. You're not supposed to touch it.
So
it's supposed to be
one of the things I seen, that's a repo box, Cray, and repo manual, but game's original. Something I've seen pop up that's totally out of the Wii U situation that's just laughable, but I've seen multiple people kind of trying to pick up on it, and that is, well, first of all, the Switch 2, it's not confirmed, but we're 2.5 weeks out, and it's looking pretty true. No review units going out to review sites, journalists, and all that.
That means T's review is going to be the first one up on
YouTube. But the other part of that, because people are mad about that, and I'm like, if you're not a reviewer, you have no reason to be mad about that. Like you need, anyway, the other thing people are latching onto that's just totally out of the Wii U. Oh, there's a mandatory day one update. You take your thing out of the box and you gotta update it.
Isn't that true for like most modern consoles?
And I'm like, well, Clocked It said today, like, yeah, people are gonna see if it's playable at all, even if it isn't. Like, they've been manufacturing these for months to get enough stock, and if they didn't have the final OS done, and it's just gonna be a janky experience if you don't update. Who gives a shit? How long's the longest Nintendo Switch update you think it ever took to update the operating system?
Dude, literally like maybe
a minute.
10 seconds. It's nuts.
Like the longest one, even going to like a major update, it's usually.
I think
like
it was
minute.
the Wii U. I think it was like the Wii U.
I'm talking
one.
on Switch.
The Wii U, the Wii U was.
Wii U was like 40 minutes.
Oh, I thought you just meant Nintendo consoles in general. My bad.
But just on the Switch, like the longest one I ever did.
Maybe a couple minutes.
I don't even reach a couple minutes on a system update. They're so fast for some reason.
Yeah, they're really quick.
But
there's nothing.
Stability download in the background.
Stability doesn't take any time, man.
But
stability takes 2 seconds.
Like, you talk about a Wii U situation where people are trying to make a big deal about a day one update to like.
It's a problem, Juice. Damn.
I'm like.
Because nothing gets day one updates except for everything.
5 minutes after that update, you're playing Mario Kart, you're playing whatever.
What kind of shit is that?
You're not gonna care about some update you just spent 5 minutes doing. No. Like, unless you're trying to open the thing in the car on the way home and there's no internet and you're like, oh, I can't play it. Oh my god! Like, how stupid of an argument is that?
Yeah, while you're driving off.
It's like, yeah, I mean. That's a modern device. Like, you turn your phone on, the first thing it does is update. You build a PC, the first thing Windows does is update. And those take a long time. I expect the Switch one to be over like within 5 minutes max.
And my Legion Go are constantly updating. I want
and it's like, oh, well, this is where the rush. I've seen a couple people now suggesting that maybe the Switch 2 launch was bumped up in time because. Oh, it needs a day one update. Why? There's no review samples. They're hiding something. I see they're hiding something and
what would they hide?
They said that
it's a government conspiracy. You don't get it.
Look at the launch lineup. Look at the the lack of dev kits that went out. Look at all the misinformation. This is a rush. This is a rush system launch. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't the smoothest. It hasn't been the smoothest Nintendo, but I kind of go with Kit and Krista. I think they're a little rusty, a little bit arrogant on. It's been so successful the last 8 years that maybe they just
because from what people were saying, the board that they're using is from like 2021. So a lot of people are like, I think the argument was that the console was supposed to come out sooner, and they waited.
That's what I from all the signs looked at it was supposed to be out last year. So if anything, it was delayed, not rushed.
Yeah, that's why when I saw your title before I got in the call, I was like, oh, this gotta be hyperbole. This man lying in 4K on here. I'm like, there's no way this shit was rushed.
Switch Pro was not years ago. So
you already have one. I've seen it in your house, dog.
Right.
All them fancy controllers you got, there ain't no way that's a normal switch in your hands.
Right.
See, look at that. He's been.
I Switch Pro, but I had to make my own.
What's the big deal about a day one update? Like when you're not even gonna notice it. Like what is that even? Like what?
How much did that Wii U update mean to you in the life of the Wii U? Like after that.
I mean, to be
fair, we talk about that shit all the time.
A quick menu, fuck you, man. I wanted that quick menu.
I can't even comprehend. Like
quick menu is useless.
That quick menu was everything to me, dog. Sorry.
I can't even comprehend it though in terms of like what I couldn't tell you if the I mean I don't know if PS5 or Xbox had an update. I'm not sure.
Well, you go through a whole process to get your system, get your profile, get the controller charged. Like there's a whole process on screen.
But not only that, it's like if you don't buy a Switch 2 within the first month, let's say, wouldn't you have an update anyway? Because there's gonna be an update within the first month.
And then like the second batch, like once they sell out their initial supply, the new ones are gonna have they might have an update, but it'll be more complete than this launch day one, and it's like, what do they got to open all these up and update them for you? So when you open it up, you don't have to update it. Like, get the hell out of here! Like that's
I don't understand. I can't.
Nobody's ever complained about like the day one people being beta testers. No, that's never been a thing. Nobody's ever said that.
Remember the Steam Deck team? Remember the Steam Deck at launch? Now that was incomplete. The Steam Deck was an incomplete OS, but it was their first. It was their first time. I would expect the Steam Deck 2 not to have that problem.
Yeah.
That was something you could say. Yeah, I just bought this device, and yeah, the OS wasn't ready. You know, like.
It would be that mine got delayed. So all the stuff I used to hear about, people who got it early or earlier. Because I think mine came in like 3 months later, and even in those 3 months, so there's so much improvement. I was like, thank God, I didn't have to deal with that shit that other people were dealing with, and it still had to work. They still have to work on it, and that's just how it goes with devices in the 21st century. Like, what are we talking about here?
And yeah, even if it took a half hour, like I said, the Wii U took 45 minutes. Some people it took longer. I never thought of it again after that. Like
I never thought it doesn't even comprehend in my mind like
how many hours I had playing games didn't. I mean that
unless the update said, "Hey, this is going to take 1 week." You're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, one full day, 24 hours.
Maybe this back right now.
Maybe RetroDesk's internet. It might. I don't know.
It's like, all right, tell me when crazy. It is.
Ooh, that's disrespectful.
How long is it going? Well, here's the thing. How long is it going to take to install? It takes 73 gigs. That could take an hour. Depends on how fast the Switch. Split fiction. What did I say?
You use your Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone.
What did I say?
Don't worry about it. We're not going to talk.
Here's another. I guess a legit criticism is just the lack of clarification on things. So I was thinking, I got Switch 1 versions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. From their little chart, it showed the size of the game, and it showed the upgrade pack being 3 gigs or whatever. How is that going to load off a Switch 1 cart as fast as the Switch 2 with the supposedly faster storage in the Switch 2 cartridge? So how is my Switch 1 upgraded to a Switch 2 edition still going to load as fast? I'm wondering. If the cartridge, people seem to be saying it like it's true. Like the Switch 2 cartridge uses a faster storage. So is it going to be slower? Be interesting to see. I'm curious. The only other way around that would be to install the entire Switch 2 edition onto the.
True. Yeah, I don't know.
So that's.
But that's like the biggest things is I would say is the messaging with like the Nintendo Switch 2 editions where Retro was like, I understand it completely, and everyone else like, I don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. And so, but it was like clearly there was some sort of miscommunication in somewhere at some point. And no one really understood it. And we had to listen to Marvelous of all people.
And I thought I was under the impression the Switch 2 and Switch 1 cart were the exact same storage type. So if it is faster storage on Switch 2 cartridges, then it would be. You'd think the loading time would be different for Switch 1 if you just get the upgrade separately. So that's something. And is a Switch 1 game going to load any faster? You would think, even if it's just no upgrade Switch 1. So.
I feel like they already talked about that being a thing, but my thing is like, okay,
no, they did, because remember
the issue with
Yoshi's Crafted World,
they showed Crafted World.
Yeah, they showed it faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was confirmed already. I think obviously they're going with the 64 gig carts. They don't want to do smaller ones, which sucks because it's like all the indie companies are gonna be like, well, fuck, I'm not paying it 64. I'm not getting 64 gig cart. My 300 or 3.3 gigabyte game. That doesn't make any sense. So I would. Over game cards, I would even accept like cards that would just let you download it from the card. You know what I'm saying? You can't play it off the card, right? But you can download it from the.
That's what somebody said they could do for Switch.
Okay, that's still a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy with that even. Like, okay, I got to download this game to my system, whatever. But it's coming off of this fucking card I have here. Maybe a slower card that's maybe Switch 1 comparable card, so it takes longer to download it off their card, but can't play the card. It has to be downloaded. I would be cool with that. Like, there seems like there's ways around this that Nintendo could utilize to allow companies who don't have the fucking funds. See, CD Projekt Red can do this because their fucking game is old. They're charging $70 for an old ass game. Yes, they're allowing you to have the DLC and stuff, but they, it's not hurting them as much for them to put it all on a 64 gig card. I think they said the 64 gig cards what, like $15 something in cost. So that brings the game down to I'm not the best math, $55 at that point, right? $55. That's still really good for this old ass game. And for Cyberpunk, they're still getting that kind of money out of it. Obviously, there's other little costs in their retail, blah blah blah. But they're still making, let's say, $40 of a game that you can buy right now on the other consoles for $25, $30. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, obviously without the DLC. So they're still getting decent money, so they can do that. But like, what is there's a lot of indie fucking games I have on my shelf like here from on Switch. They're not going to be able to do that. Like, you're not going to get fucking game, the Zelda light game that came out on that.
Cadence of Hyrule. You're talking like the Tunic or whatever.
That
Oceanhorn.
That Zelda inspired. No, it's a Zelda
Tunic.
Tunic. Yeah, you're Tunic, right? Like, you can't get like, that's one of my favorite fucking carts to have on Switch. But I can have that, or Cave of Dreams, fucking homage to Nintendo 60 3D platformer.
Well, what if they
have that on a cartridge? That's cool. Like, I'm not gonna have that anymore.
Well, I think depending on how long down the road we're talking, I think initially in the first couple years, just do what some games do on some third-party games do on PlayStation. They just release a PS4 version. That way, they got their bases covered. Just release a Switch 1 version of whatever. Just say Tunic 2. It's gonna work. It's not gonna be. I think the loading times will be fast enough. Just unless Nintendo's gonna pull the 8 gig cart, 4 gig cart for Switch 1s away and say no, you can't get these anymore. But just make the Switch 1. It's just gonna work on Switch 2. They could make sure it works on Switch 2 while they're developing the game, but just make a Switch 1 release it as a Switch 1 game and use the smaller cartridge of a Switch 1.
But it would have to depend on
It's on PS5, I guess.
because again, like in the end of the day, like let's say like I just played the Spirit of the Mouse, and there is a clear difference between the Switch 1 version and like other console version like PS4. So they still had to do work and downgrade it to Switch 1. And then they would have to do work and upgrade it to Switch 2.
Well, it would
And
just
it's
be a Switch 1 just release a Switch 1 version of the game.
But what if you want to play it on Switch 2 and take advantage of it? You know what I'm saying? You want the version for Switch 2. And now
Well,
it's like
the best
some
version.
companies will be like, okay, well I'll maybe do a $10 upgrade or something. Or
I
maybe
wonder if they could do the Switch 2 version on a Switch 1 cartridge storage. It just have longer loading times. I don't know. We don't know how that would
I'm not
work.
sure.
Let me just download that game from my
Because
Switch 1 cart.
The actual internal storage is significantly faster than the Switch 1. Like the micro SD express cards are like up to 800 megabytes a second, and I think regular SD cards are like 50 megabytes a second or whatever. Like it's a huge increase in speed. So yeah, I mean, if the game cards are actually that much quicker, then again it goes back to my initial question: how is Breath of the Wild and Switch 1 games going to load fast off the Switch 1 cartridge? So
Yeah, but no, I don't even mean just load time. Like I mean, like
Yeah.
if like let's say
you're talking
like
the actual visuals.
visuals and yeah, it was actually quite a difference when I looked back. I didn't know because I was just
Speaking
playing.
of visual upgrades, here we got a major one. Tell me if you can even see the difference.
Oh, he's being sarcastic. I get it.
It is definitely a little. I don't know if this is real. This could be fake.
Let me just take the hat off. We're done
There
here.
is,
I'm not doing this.
there is
I
a
thought this was coy.
no, but is this? I don't know if this.
This looks
there
a little
is
bit
you have-
sharper.
I hate that you picked this picture.
This one
There was,
looks a
like,
little
other
bit
photos
sharper
floating
in the
around.
mini map. The mini.
Fuck you.
The mini map.
Garbage.
Claymation ass.
At least go get the
Claymation
other
mountain
images,
shit.
you fuck.
Okay,
Damn.
here goes some other images.
This is just a time of day difference. The shadows. I mean,
That's not what
And-
it so,
it's
Oh my
it's
God.
sharper.
oh, this bitch, I
It's
swear.
sharper.
It is sharper,
But
like,
it's
it is
not-
sharper,
it's
but-
not-
Let me
It's not a
look it
Switch
up.
2 edition. That's what. It's a free
No,
upgrade.
it's not a Switch
I
2 edition.
cannot believe this.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's gonna be the way to play them
He-
for sure.
Is this a
He-
3DS
It
game?
It
He
still
said-
isn't that much different. I mean, either picture.
This is
No,
fucking-
there's
Oh
not
my
gonna, but there's not gonna be a
God.
difference. They're not doing
Let's
Look
anything.
these
at this
pictures.
one again.
Who took these captures? Why
I
y'all
hate
pick
that you
these
started
horrible-
here. Like this was the fairest thing.
I'm
to
just
do.
looking for
Man,
where is it
man.
different. If this is legit, like the mini map looks a little sharper, and
I'm
maybe
so-
this
I'm so
building,
angry
maybe
in
this
life,
building on the
bro.
right.
Look at
The
that.
building looks
Look
Why
at
sharper.
does
that
this
Mega
happen to me?
Man. Look at that Mega Man Legends ass grass he goes.
Look at this
Yeah,
tiled
but the thing
texture.
is, like, they were never going to redo texture
my
and stuff.
God.
That's not what it is. It's not a remaster.
That looks-
Well, we might as well go
somehow
through
it's
the
look like-
reported upgrades, the free upgrades.
I feel like I got attacked in that moment. I don't know. It's just me.
No, hey, Turo, that's how I'm gonna play it for sure.
Oh my god.
So let's look at Switch 2 free upgrades. Somebody
Fuck,
had
man,
a tweet
Damn.
that had it like perfectly laid out.
Let me go get my hat.
Is that gonna be the was it Luffy
Okay,
hat?
so-
Damn, boy.
God, it's white
Or is
screen.
it just the or you done with the Pokemon hat? Oh, he's on a
In
Pokemon hat.
high school, you
I'm gonna
was
be
a
all-
man, homie.
Blown or all washed out with this white screen here, but so arms, visuals optimized for Nintendo Switch 2, frame rate optimized, smoother movement. So I'm gonna guess possibly 120
I think-
FPS for that.
Oh well, so even when playing 3 or more players, do you think? Well, I guess the
It'll
even
probably
means-
Because it's
probably
already
120
60,
frames
so
more.
I think it's gonna be
It'll pro-
120,
It'll be 120 and then go down to 60 if you're playing multiplayer.
and I think it'll be
And we did
possibly
it.
native 4K or 1440.
it'll probably be
But
1440.
I mean, it'll get us to play the game again. I think. This
Yeah.
one,
It's so weird, that
Party
game, 'cause
chat.
They didn't seem to care about this shit.
No,
I
no,
didn't
not part
see
chat.
this.
Game,
game
it's,
chat.
it's-
Sorry, game chat.
So yeah, boy.
It's still you're
So
doing
Captain
that.
Toad, visuals optimized, HDR support, not even an FPS boost, so that'll probably be near native 4K. 2 people can
Who
play
do-
all the courses. Game share
I
support,
just got that shit, but I just bought that
game
shit. so-
share.
up to 4
Mouse
players.
controls.
Garage builder.
Oh, that's cool. Mouse controls for
Yeah.
game builder.
That
That's
one
actually
definitely-
really
That is
That
cool.
definitely-
That actually is cool.
So this
I
one's
actually
kind
didn't
of
see it.
ridiculous.
That's pretty
Just the visuals optimized. They're not even doing 120 FPS for a Mario side scroll where it would be
So do you think that's like? Well, I know they said frame like they
no
didn't name it frame-
HDR.
I thought that's why they would do it, or maybe they're doing it.
So this is
One
just a
year.
resolution. This to me is just gonna be a resolution bump.
Don't worry, you
Yeah.
don't own this game on Switch anyway.
Visuals optimized for Switch 2 display,
Right.
high resolution, frame rate improved for.
That is true.
Frame rate.
Why isn't there
Smooth movement.
HDR for all
Never
these
buy
games?
that bitch on Switch.
I don't care, bro. As long as
So this one needed a
Yeah,
frame
now we
rate.
talking.
This one definitely. The Bowser's Fury had some pretty significant drops.
I got
just like
I got
just like
plenty
I'm
of Switch
popping.
Now
One
it-
games
now
to
it
play on my
costs
Switch
it.
2 day
Yeah.
one. That's for sure.
Frame
There
rate
was
up,
there was frame rate drops, but
Bowser's
significantly
Fury
lower.
is the only HDR in that Mario. It must be something with that game I thought it was the same game engine. So game
Mhm.
share, cool.
It's
It's
coming out
almost like
because
it
it's
was
its own unique
DLC
game.
added on.
It's its own unique game, retro.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you doing to my Odyssey? What are you doing?
Visuals and HDR support and game share for 2 players.
They game as two
That's it.
player.
I mean, Odyssey already runs like a dream and shit anyway.
This one's surprising. This
Even-
doesn't even specify a frame
I'm
rate
very surprised with that one. That one's so strange that it doesn't say frame rate.
that
because
shit needs a frame rate.
I
bump.
think
both
just
of these
gonna look
games
pretty.
need a frame rate, but it's gonna look great
Yeah,
HDR.
wouldn't it? But like you said, Juice, don't you think automatically it will just lock it?
You would hope. Maybe it only mentions frame rate if it's getting 120 FPS. But then
No,
it-
that's not
No,
true.
wait,
'cause
I don't see
that's
Bowser's
implying-
Fury getting
That's
it.
that's implying Pokemon's gonna get 124. I don't think that's
Yeah,
true.
Or maybe no. I think
Hell to no.
when they said frame rate for Pokemon, they meant 30.
I assume
Yeah, they
30
did.
because it's not
See,
locked
it
at
says-
30.
Yeah, frame rate
It's not
improved
locked at
for
30 right
smoother
now, so-
movement. Frame rate optimized for smoother movement. What do you think the difference is there? This is just improved. This is optimized for smoother movement. So
Corporate,
Well, I think
corporate shit is what that
Fucking
is.
Nintendo, bro. Yeah, show us a video or something. Why
where's Mario
why can't we-
Wonder in here? I thought that was one of them.
Yeah, it was
No,
not.
Wonder was not in there. No, Wonder was not.
I
in there.
wonder
why.
That's gonna be a Switch 2 edition. I bet.
Boo! You're fucking lame. Do it again.
So
I
that's
think it'll be a Switch.
these are the free upgrades. They're pretty minor and not a lot of games.
Hold on.
No, I mean, I'm not. I
Well,
wasn't
this is just,
expecting.
yeah.
I mean, I was expected. Like that makes sense about like, what was
But
that?
this honestly,
don't
the
know.
improvements for these games are kind of what I was hoping it'd just be
Banana.
automatic from putting a Switch 1 game in.
Automatic.
What the hell was that?
Like unless it's
I
bumping up
thought
the
so
if
too.
it's bumping up the resolution, that's something you
Yo,
can't.
no.
That thing fucked me up. I couldn't fucking.
I'm so happy
think
they
the
brought
frame
that back.
rate's better.
That shit was hilarious in Donkey Kong 64. You collected.
No.
Oh, banana. That shit is hilarious to me.
So what do you think? What are some
Oh.
other games that could potentially, or you would hope, would get some kind of free update?
Bayonetta.
Yep.
I would love
I-
Bayonetta. I like any of the Bayonetta.
I think Bayonetta will potentially
man.
automatically.
Come on,
get
can we
fixed.
get
I
that?
think that-
The memory bandwidth was like the biggest bottleneck for that game. So, Retro, were
I
you
mean,
saying
I
something?
have one. There was a game I was playing on my old TV, and now I got the 4K TV and I'm playing it on that. When I'm playing this game, I'm like, it could look a little bit sharper. And that's actually Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I wouldn't mind an update for that one,
Yeah,
honestly.
That's a good one. Animal
Now,
Crossing.
update, do you mean update or do you want to pay $10 extra for Switch 2?
Look at
You
your
charge-
Look
While
at his
I'm
face.
playing
Look
it.
at his face.
And yeah, I personally would
Robert
like
works at
Animal
Nintendo,
Crossing
that's
to
all
run
that was.
slightly smoother.
I'm just
Man, Animal Crossing at 60 FPS. I think that would look.
Well, that's
pretty
what
good.
I said, because like I feel
Yeah.
when I walk from left to right, it should be smoother than it is. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
You can't
and
prove.
I'll
You can't
stick
prove
by
that.
Yeah, that's true.
Walking smooth is
I
a
think
privilege,
Luigi's
it's not a
Mansion
right.
3 would have been a good one to get a resolution and HDR support, and that would be a nice one to go.
The game
to
already
60.
runs in 9K. I don't know what else you wanted to do. Jeez,
Because that's a
man.
native 1080p game, if I'm not mistaken, and that with DLSS, that get up to
All I
4K.
want, all I want for that game is fucking Labo support. Can I get that bitch in 3D? God damn,
I
that
don't
game.
think they put it in
I
Labo
mean,
Level's
Yeah.
not even compatible with Switch 2. What are we gonna do with it?
I'm just talking about. I'm just saying that's all I ever wanted for that fucking game. I don't care about.
What he also means,
I will
he
say,
wants to see He wants a sequel to Labo is what I'm hearing. Okay, gotcha.
After I was watching some of the
VR Labo, to be specific.
Of course, this is the one we only matters.
VR V2.
I was
Yes.
watching the
Labo
Cyberpunk
VR V2.
on my TV, and I saw the thumbnail for the Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 versus Switch 1. And I watched it on my phone, and I was like, damn, Switch 1 looks really good. Like, that, it really didn't need a... Then I put it on my TV, and I'm like, holy shit. the Switch 2 version, I think, outperforms what I'm used to playing Breath of the Wild on my PC. Like, it looks freaking amazing. Like, I've been telling you guys for years, ever since I got that emulated version, like, the Breath of the Wild's visuals at higher resolution and 60 FPS just looks amazing. Like, that's all I ever need it to be. And I was just like, damn, that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, pay $80 for it.
Yeah. That's the $80, man. It's still a relatively new game, but Breath of the Wild with no DLC for $70, that's a tougher one to defend. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah. Well, I think they're both tough to defend. I wouldn't pay no $80 for no fucking game.
I'd love to have both
the-
those games all in the cart, Switch 2 versions with the entire, like the most updated version of the game on the cart, but I ain't paying that for it.
I mean, it don't matter to rebuy it for me,
That's
but
greed right there.
What other games we got? Metroid Prime Remastered doesn't really need anything. Be nice if they mouse controls in 4K though. It'd be
Controls.
I'm trying to think like
They'll probably do that. They'll probably do that.
Semi.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is not Nintendo developed, but they published it. That could definitely use performance.
I mean, I feel like you might. I would be curious what that's gonna run like without doing anything. I
Yeah,
wonder if it
well,
just goes-
that's one side where I agree that some of these sites probably could have used some early units, because not only do they got to cover Switch 2 games, but there's a lot of unknowns of, like, we're asking right now, we're talking right now, we have no idea what's the benefit to putting in Age of Calamity on Switch 2. Like, what's it
But I
gonna
guess,
do?
but my thing is like when we, those reviewers are just all they're doing is just telling us the info for something we're already gonna buy. So it's not like it's really gonna be affecting us in
I
that
already
way.
lost the money.
We're
The
gonna
bank already
find
took
out.
it.
But I'm not gonna
We're
buy
gonna
a.
find out at 12:30 a.m. Like someone's going to do it immediately.
I'm
So
not
it's
gonna
not
buy
really-
a Switch 2 edition of a game
For 30
if I'm not
Just because I've
sure
been there for like 6
how it
months, so it's
performs.
fine.
Like, if like everything looks good right now for Cyberpunk, but if it turned out like it was a really buggy, glitchy version of the game, then yeah, I ain't paying $70.
You mean
for
like
that.
the original version?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But still,
You bitch.
when I played it years later, I had people floating above the street like freaking like a horror movie, and it's still watching somebody play.
There's no way that's gonna happen. It'll be done.
Yeah.
That happened.
I don't
Yeah.
think so,
I
but
feel like
no
you already
way.
they've shown it a decent amount of times where I feel like we've already would have seen like some quirk from some gameplay clip.
Yeah.
but we don't know Sonic Hedgehog, Sonic and Shadow, whatever edition. That could be
I'll bring
absolute
up no
garbage.
shame.
I
Not
like,
even.
I know, I like how you can say
Yeah,
just
man.
don't give a fuck, but he's trying to instigate it. Couldn't even say the fucking title of the
I don't know what the
game,
title
dog.
is, but
I know you didn't know.
Sonic
What?
Generations Shadow.
Sonic X Shadow Generation.
Just stop. I'm so sad, bro.
That-
It's Sonic X Shadow
Sonic
Generation.
Shadow.
Am I correct in saying there
Okay,
isn't?
yeah,
There's no
no,
$10
right.
upgrade for that. You just have to
No.
rebuy the whole game.
You'll get it.
Sega
I
already
heard that. I was
confirmed.
like, what?
Sega already confirmed there
What's
wasn't gonna be an upgrade.
There's no upgrade.
That's
It's just
crazy,
another.
bro.
It's just you can just buy the game on Switch too. It's a separate
Is
experience.
it just gonna look and play the same? You think? Do you think they're
I
actually?
would think.
taking
I think
advantage?
the frame rate's gonna be. I think the frame rate will be better on Switch too, but they haven't confirmed anything. They just said, "Hey,
But
you got to buy the game again."
some of these games,
Yeah,
I
it's-
think there's
it's
gonna
gonna
like
look
Hogwarts
also-
Legacy. I want to know. Like, I'm not gonna double dip, but I'd like to know if I was thinking of it.
What you want to know for then, man?
That
My
game wasn't
question is,
running great.
You will
will
find
dip.
out.
I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay for the game.
You will wake up and find out the info. Like you're going to know.
You're gonna have
You won't even
somebody
have a-
who posts
You're
some
also not
freaking
buying the game.
YouTube
You're also
short.
not-
He's like, look at the performance. I mean, I want like a full analysis, like deep into the game, not just the intro.
People will do that. Also, you're not getting the console at day one, are you? Anyway, right?
I don't know if you
Never
would
know.
get that anyway.
Yeah,
That quick.
They're
Nah, I don't
trying
think
to.
that's no.
I'm saying if they had the Switch 2s
Trying
now
to.
and they could do all this testing and then post the results at launch,
What is
that'd
the
be awesome.
context? Retro's making plans and he'll have it switch before you.
But
That's
just
crazy.
like the day one update, that's gonna mean nothing
That is
to
what
me.
Put the
for one month.
bongos down.
No, but
I'm
it's
saying, like,
we're gonna
it's like
get
the
there's
game
gonna be
stuff.
so much flood of content on that day,
Exactly.
like, and it's
Well, then
That'd
just
be
you
crazy.
have plenty of videos.
you're
to
gonna have
watch
all these
while
AI,
you-
these
Listen,
freaking
you have-
videos with the AI narration. I immediately
Listen.
downvote and exit any video that uses AI narration.
Listen. You'll have plenty of videos to watch while you wait in line at Best Buy. I don't see what the problem is, honestly.
No one's gonna have the system yet.
Damn.
Okay.
That's
So
not
what?
true. If it's in the morning, people did midnight launches. Unless you're talking about midnight.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going
gonna
to
try to
midnight.
get the game
No, he's
GameStop
saying
midnight.
like literally midnight.
Oh.
It did.
You
Well,
want
video
people
up
in
about
Japan? People in Japan.
impressions
Okay.
at midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, he think he got. Oh, he moving a certain type of way. All right, let's see.
And people in Japan will already have it for 12 hours. So by the time
Well,
we're online, they would have already had it for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So
That means they're gonna be.
No, I'm just
speedrunning
saying,
Mario Kart. They're gonna get
if
their
you make
track
a
unlocked in
living
the first
and-
10 minutes.
There's a lot of stuff, a lot of unknowns that people can make videos about, and they'll
The
make
problem
them.
is it also comes out in the middle of the. It comes out on a Thursday, which means like if you didn't take Friday off, you gotta.
I didn't take Friday off.
Yeah, I
You
know.
did?
I didn't.
oh.
He hadn't confirmed it. He said, "I'm gonna."
What about
Wait,
you,
isn't
Trill?
it-
Did you take off Friday?
No, wait, I do have Friday off. Not. No, wait,
Thursday?
I have Thursday off, not Friday. Thursday. I have
Oh, yeah.
Thursday.
Did you take off
I'm
Thursday? Trill?
stuck. As a
No,
teacher,
I know. I already know
they
what I'm
know-
doing.
if I leave,
I'm plotting.
they know what's going on. That's what they do. They're like, oh, teach,
What if you?
he didn't come to school.
I'm gonna be sick no
wanna
matter
play
what,
video
Robert.
games?
Just know that I'm gonna be sick that weekend no matter what.
Okay.
T, you just
my
plan
job,
a test
my
for
job
all your
doesn't know it yet,
students.
but I'm gonna be fucking sick as a dog, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
Like,
Dude,
I want to
just
take
like-
both them days off, but I can't do that to my kids.
You don't need to
Oh,
take the
man.
day off. It's a portable system. You take it with you. You
God
give
damn.
everybody a test to be quiet.
No,
for
no,
like an
No,
hour.
that's not how that works,
I
Retro.
can't.
Retro, when you
get-
get a
I was-
new system, you hoard that shit to yourself for a strong.
Yeah, I ain't trying to show
Well,
everybody.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah,
You need to
no,
know
that's,
the
that's me.
test.
I ain't trying to take that nowhere.
I'm the one who's spending the money, Retro. I'm not about to share it with nobody. I'm just be rude.
Every day I leave my house for a month. I ain't talking about. I ain't
Exactly.
taking it nowhere.
But my nephew
At
won't
least
even
a
see
month.
it. I'm gonna hide that bitch. That bitch is gonna be in my car at all times, and I'm gonna be in the backseat just playing in the dark. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck's
I honestly,
going on?
Jared, I don't know if I'm even gonna play like a handheld until like next year. like I don't think
play it
we're
portably.
He is so stupid.
I'll play it portably, laying back in my bed, relax. How you do. Who used to say that shit all the time? Talk about how these. I love the Switch. You can sit back, you kick back and relax. That shit was so funny to me. Like all these videos talking
I'm
about,
about
oh,
to
you
kick
just kick
back
back and
with
relax.
some Mai Tais and turn on Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom
Like
and
they on the beach or
4K,
something.
bitch. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know what
Yeah,
you.
I like to be able to
think-
kick
I don't
back,
think I'll be
relax.
taking it outside of the house. I only do it like if I'm going on a plane flight and I'm not flying anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like
You know what I just realized? Do they have screen protectors already available to buy? Because I did not buy one
Sure.
yet. I gotta
Sure.
go pre-order a screen protector real quick.
that's why I didn't even get a carrying case. Usually I'm like, all right, I'll get a carrying. I didn't buy one because I'm like, I literally
remember-
Oh no, you can't do that.
I remember I was stressed out that first week I bought my Switch and realized I don't have a screen protector. Fuck, I don't want to take this nowhere. Let me go get the.
That's
So
the
I just
first thing
left
I
it.
do.
I left it in the dock and just didn't touch it. And then I remember T being like, there's reports of the dock scratching the
gonna say-
screen. And I was like, ah!
Mine did. My
I
doc.
was gonna say it ain't safe in that dock either, my
I
friend.
grabbed my thing and went, no, I didn't know what to do. Fear mongering is
That's
crazy, y'all. Don't trust
I
it.
mean,
Don't trust
honestly, I
nobody.
don't think I'm gonna get a screen protector this time around. Just
Hey,
because,
don't do
like,
that. Don't do
I don't
that.
have a screen
What?
protector.
I don't want you to
What?
hey, listen. As your friend, I care about you. Don't do this shit. Go get,
I
go
don't
get
know.
this.
I think, like legitimately, like I don't even have a screen protector for my phone. So I
See,
haven't-
you are a dangerous
Dude.
man.
I
No,
would
I
have.
just I'm very protective of my phone.
I'd have such
You've
a
been
damn.
fighting-
I'd have a ruined phone if I didn't. I hit.
I've literally never dropped my phone like that. And I've had this. Well, this is a newer phone, but the last one I had for years, like 4 or 5
It only
years.
takes
I never had a
one.
screen protector.
I
It only
hit.
takes
I
one
hit
time.
my
Do you at
phone.
least have insurance on the phone?
No.
My Steam Deck, my
Come
Legion
on,
Go, all
bro.
that shit.
I didn't even buy like
I
a.
don't know. I'm on my mom's plan, so I don't know.
Oh no, fuck you.
Oh my
That's
god.
why.
I hit my phone with a metal, like sharp metal chunk of something, I forget what it
What?
was.
Why?
And I was at my workshop. Something fell on it, and it looked like completely destroyed. It's not even a glass screen protector. It's just a plastic one. And I was like, this screen's fucked. I peel it off, flawless. It didn't even touch
I
the
just put
screen.
shit in my pocket, put it in my pocket, and my key matched screen because I don't have a protector on it. I was like, bitch. So it's not even dropping it. You gotta protect that bitch if it's in your pocket or in a bag or anything. Like you want a screen protector on that shit.
I will say I've broken.
In a separate, like my phone is the only thing in its pocket. There's no key. My keys are on my other's pocket.
I wasn't thinking. Like sometimes you just put shit in your pocket. You're not thinking.
I definitely get it.
Yeah.
I definitely get it.
I will say,
fuck.
I remember it was like right before I think the NX was revealed, and I was working on something in my car, and I ran up to my room, and I dropped like a bolt on top of my gamepad screen, which is why it was
A bolt.
You know how I remember? Because I think I showed you guys. I dented the screen.
I remember
still worked.
that.
It wasn't.
You
It
replaced
wasn't
the
correct.
screen.
I replaced the screen because it pissed me off that I like and I was so mad because I think we were still playing the game, so I'm just playing with this dent in my screen, and my OCD is like, fuck, I don't like this shit.
Yeah.
I have
You
my
guys-
anxiety
That shit will bother you. The minute you do that, that's all you see on this screen is that fucking imperfection you made.
Yeah,
That's all I look at.
yeah.
God damn.
For sure.
I remember
all I can see
I cracked my my screen protector from my phone, and I was like, do I have another one? And I realized I didn't. I went, that means I gotta wait 4 days with this cracked screen protector on my fucking phone. And my brain is like, I don't understand how people with cracked screens just rock this out for like months at a time.
Rock it out. I can't do it.
I found out why though, T. You know what the reason why is?
Yeah.
Because they're poor and that's all they can afford. So you know, it's their standard.
My OCD, like even when I ain't have money, like my OCD would not allow me to just rock with. I couldn't. I just can't.
No, I
it
still
bothered
can't.
me.
This
I
is
think
this is an older phone that I have. I don't know why I still have it, but this is like probably a decade. I never put on anything on it. Well, I had a case at one point, but I never put on a.
I don't like how casual you holding this phone. They ain't got shit protected. Like
Dude, I don't even know if this works anymore. Like it's been like a decade.
yeah,
I
but you're
think.
playing with me with this thing dangling in your hands like this. I don't like that.
I got like a,
Nah, see that you're antagonizing me.
I don't even get how you do that, man. You travel. I've got like a screen protector. I got like a rubber bumper car shit all around my phone, man.
No, I
I
got
do that too.
rubber thing. Look,
I do that too, actually. I have the rubber like thing.
I got my phone like right
Is that a
before
Pixel?
our vacation.
Is that Pixel
I got
game?
it.
Wait, what
Yeah.
phone you got? What phone you use now, Robert?
It's the newest one.
Hey, wait, which one? The 9?
Literally, whatever just came out.
All right, hey, listen, I respect your taste in phones.
We were able to.
As a
My
fellow
last one was
Pixel owner.
my last one was a Pixel 5, so I had it for like
Is my
4
Pixel
years.
not good enough,
I
Terrell?
don't respect
Oh, I
that.
didn't
That
know. I'm
makes it
sorry, my
worse.
bad. I apologize. I respect the Pixel game. Wait, which one is yours, Juice?
Pixel's great,
I
man.
don't know,
Pixel's
8
great.
maybe?
Android trash.
Look at retro.
you have a new- I'm probably up there. When the 10 comes out, that's what I'm getting. Oh wow, that's crazy.
Man.
When the 10 comes out this year, that's probably when I'm upgrading because I have a 7. I'm overdue for the
Like shorts.
I don't
Android.
respect
No.
Robert having that phone, man.
What?
Him having that phone makes it worse.
Oh, how did you do that? That's wild.
I
That
just
is
looked it up on my phone.
That's crazy.
Who else is here?
That screen is immaculate.
So apparently,
Yeah,
after
well,
9
Yeah,
months,
good.
Star Wars Outlaws
Only
has
because
fixed its
I'm a
biggest problem.
Stupid fan.
Oh, T, they'll never make another one of those. Put that down.
I
Only
didn't know
because
they
I'm
had
a crazy fan. I bought this sealed copy of Billy Hatcher on.
Is that the PC version? What the fuck?
I didn't know there was a PC version.
You know what
Yeah.
version I've only seen of that game? I've only seen the GameCube version. That's the only thing I ever
Yeah,
see
well,
people own.
That's what most people know about, but they had made a PC version as well. I knew
I
that
thought it was
for
exclusive to
probably
GameCube, to be honest.
10, 15 years.
It felt like it
Huh?
was exclusive to GameCube.
I thought it was exclusive to GameCube, to be honest with you.
It basically is. I mean, nobody ain't played this shit. Nobody bought the PC version of this shit.
That is true.
Come
No
on,
one
let's
bought
be
the
honest.
PC. I didn't even know it existed. Is it because is it on? It's not on Steam. It's only on like that, right?
No, it's not on Steam. It's not,
That's
it's only
fucked.
on.
That's crazy. The only PC version we
Yeah.
got is this gimped ass version. I hate it.
Right. So you got to pull out some old piece of shit compact Presario 2004 if you want to play this bitch. That's what you do.
Oh my god.
You're not playing this shit on no Steam, goddammit.
I don't even have a disc drive on my PC, man.
And most modern PCs don't. You had to get like an external.
I didn't even realize until I got the, because I got a custom pre-built or whatever, and it was like oh
No one
shit,
told
I
you,
don't
dude.
even have
No-
a disc in my thing. Damn.
Oh, don't worry. Listen, you know what the funniest shit is? So they blocked streaming sites at our school system because they were just getting on and watching movies and not teaching like they was fucking supposed to. And so the teachers were like, I want to show something that like correlates to a book. So I think the teacher was like, I want to show Bridge to Terabithia, but of course the streaming sites are blocked.
Why would you show that? That's a depressing ass movie.
Well, because there's a book that they read the book in class, so it was like it's the comparison to the book.
I love that thing when we would watch the movie
But
after all the
anyways,
time.
they do that, and she's like, so we can't unblock the site. It's like, no, if we unblock it, we had to unblock the entire streaming site, and they're not gonna do that. And so what she went and got? She got this flimsy ass portable DVD driver from like 2007. And hooked it up to the side of the board with a USB cord. Weirdly enough, it works on a 4K board. Did not know that.
Damn.
But it's funny as fuck. And she's like, "This is why I don't get rid of DVDs." I said, "All right, you got it, Queen. I'm not mad at you. You got
That's
it."
probably a hard movie to find.
Hello Kitty or Little Big City, yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah,
She said, "Hello."
This game looks a little-
Yeah.
Little Kitty, Big City.
I just wishlisted this like a few days ago.
I thought this was Stray for a minute.
No, this is the
It
looks super-
other section.
This is a Stray if it was 1,000 times happier, not as fucking sad.
Why is
I don't
Stray
like
sad?
the.
It's
I
just-
don't know. And was the cat supposed to
It's
be
a
clumsy?
depressing ass game.
I want Juice's top
That's
5
hilarious.
cat games. That's what I want.
I might be picking
Is there
this up.
5 games?
It's only one game. I need like at least 3, 4 more.
The Lion King.
I love the
Boo! Fuck you.
Wasn't there like a Black
Tommy
Panther game or
Hanks,
something, or a Black Cat game? What was that?
Panther.
Legend of the Black Cat or whatever? Wasn't there something like Black Tiger?
Oh my God! Listen to Black Tiger.
Oh,
My
Black
God.
Tiger, yeah.
What you playing?
Black
That game. Wow.
I definitely ain't gonna
Actually
have no
don't know if
stupid
I've ever
hat on
played
my
a game
cat.
as a cat.
I don't
I'm not
put.
too sure if I ever played a game as a cat.
Jack Fu has a cat girl in it. Ooh.
Why does
Well,
it
I'm
got a
trying
to think, 'cause
stupid
I-
thing on its head though? I'm not gonna. I wouldn't put that on a cat. That's
Yeah,
mean.
Why
that's
not?
hilarious.
Because their ears
This
are
video-
blocked.
Although as
I
a
customize it.
See, he's talking about this from a pet owner. We're talking about this because it's funny.
It looks
is a
kind
video
of. I
game?
think it looks kind of silly.
as a default man, I would.
No, I
would
think you
remove
just
it.
want to. I think you want to protect the cat, and it's okay. I understand. As an owner, it makes.
I hate
sense.
when I see people putting
I
out
love the
sweaters
visual
on their
style.
pets. Yeah, I'm not.
It's like a weird. It's,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
like
in love with this game.
My mom's been putting jackets on our dog.
This is Untitled Goose
Some
Game,
dogs
but in
need
3D
it.
with a cat.
They shiver
Well,
and
he is
when it
very
gets cold.
tiny. And, like, he literally gets cold, I believe. I mean, not anymore. It's summer.
This
but,
game looks
like,
trash.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I like how quickly he soured on it. It was such a
Like-
fast. It was
Yeah,
such
I mean,
a
come
fast. You went from like you're like woo to like
I might
oh
play this game. Never mind. This looks.
What is-
looks
look at this-
fun.
yeah. Your opinion soured so quickly.
I
Dude, the
definitely will play.
second, the
It
second
seemed
Juice
cordial
Title
at first, and then
it's like no, he's not.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm gonna get this. No,
Just
you're not.
gameplay wise,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
not seeing any reason to pick
It's
it
a
up.
cat game. I don't know what did you wait? Did you ever play Stray?
I haven't played it yet.
Man, this
Stray-
looks way more
Stray is
fun.
fantastic.
This was like a way more fun open world than a lot of other ones. Look at you fucking around in the world. This looks way more fun than.
No.
Yeah, but I think
Mine-
Juice likes purpose in his life, bro. I think that's what
This is
is.
the
Yeah,
purpose.
I
No,
know.
I don't think that-
I'm
I
not
don't think
seeing
that's
a
what
lot
it is.
of tasks or a lot of like gameplay that's
Yeah,
looking
walking
like.
around.
Madden,
no
they
He's
have
saving the fucking environment. What's the problem?
You gotta-
He's environment.
Picking up
Humans walk around
garbage.
with No face and shit. Like I don't like that shit.
I hope he I hope he like Falcon kicked. one of
Cats
the
are super
workers.
agile, super, get into any place that you wouldn't expect.
It's an
Exactly. Look,
exaggeration.
he's pulling out shit.
He saved a raccoon. What's the
Look how much
problem?
better it looks without a stupid hat on too.
It's your option. You can take it on and put it on.
He's hating on this hat.
I hate
man.
that hat. It looks stupid.
Did the hats give you abilities? Is that what's going?
No, it's
No,
just
we're not doing it.
the only one I like is the mane that looks like a lion.
It's
If you have an
leading,
orange
it's
cat,
leading a pair of ducks. to freedom.
What the hell is that?
That's 3. That's not a pair. That's more.
I can't read. Fuck you.
Now what are you supposed to do?
A pair with 2 ducks, technically.
Yeah, this game.
That was a
Bad.
pair for a quick second.
Man,
See, Juice is like,
That's
my
a-
cat's better
that game was
always.
bad, and I'm
Well,
not sure
actually,
people really do it.
Actually, kittens weren't ever meant to be owned in the first
that is
place.
on my 2024 to playlist at 6 years.
I'm
6
sorry for the
years, more
people
like
for.
eight, more like eight, bro.
yeah.
I feel like Retro be getting his money up and would still end up playing half of this shit before you, Robert. I hate it.
You already forgot about that game. You already forgot.
Like Retro has a legit reason to be getting his money up. Robert's like, I just can't be bothered right now. I have, I have other things to do. I have
because
other
I'm
games to play.
I have a years-long back.
I have to play Mario is Missing today. Okay, I have no time. I have no time.
Wow. Wow.
Hey man, it was okay.
You killed Bowser and Mario is Missing.
Yeah,
Best
you wanna
game
know?
ever.
Damn.
Bowser literally gets
You
murdered.
kill him
bro.
in other
That
games.
review
No, not like
cracked me.
that. We've never seen it.
He's
He
fallen in the
disintegrates.
lava and melted
Super
his
Mario,
flesh
no,
off
no,
and
the
just
same
came back
thing.
his
It's like,
bones.
no, you did. That's how you know. No, Robert. That's how you know he didn't. That's how you know he didn't watch the back of the backlog.
I
man.
watched it.
That's how you-
I didn't watch this. I didn't see if he showed him dying, but I heard him say it.
Oh, you just listened to it.
Well, yeah,
That's
listen to it.
crazy.
Oh, you just
That's
listened
me,
to
literally.
Oh, wow.
That's a big difference. There's a
It's-
clear difference.
right, it's still a
Look
view.
at look at these fake fans, man. Look at his face.
Still get a view. That still counts as a view.
I still
Listen.
heard the entire thing.
No, absolutely, but he
You didn't see the
part that
disintegration.
Bowser literally dies and is frozen in ice and disintegrates. And then
Yeah, you didn't see the
How's that
disintegration.
different than his flesh
It's
melting
a
off
cartoon death.
in Galaxy 1 or 2 where he
Cartoon
fell in
He's
the
still
lava?
alive in that.
He
This
came back.
literally doesn't move. It's just it's bizarre.
You think he
like
was
dead,
still alive
dead.
when he was just bones?
Not in the
Don't
same
drive
way.
Bowser.
That's different.
Bowser.
Dry Bowser, that's a
Dry
character.
Bowser.
That's a character in Mario
Yeah.
Kart. That's not the same thing.
This dude was
Lazy as hell,
literally
too.
motionless. There was
Listen,
nothing-
disintegrated Bowser is not a character in Mario Kart. Therefore, he does not exist. He is just
That's,
dead.
that's Waluigi lazy too. Get this shit out.
So
I
stupid.
want Waluigi. Shut the fuck. I don't want no damn Waluigi.
You don't like Waluigi emulate Michael Jackson for the fuck of it? That shit was hilarious. He was a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, Waluigi. I don't want him in shit.
Yeah, no, Waluigi.
We know your favorite
Waluigi
color
in
is
Smash.
purple.
Why? Why you want
Listen.
Waluigi in Smash?
Because man, his favorite color is purple, just like Prince. We like that.
What?
Waluigi was a fan of Purple Rain. You can't prove it to anything else to me.
I was trying to look up what did I ever play a game as a cat? I was trying to look up the games that I played, see if any of them was as a cat. I'm
Other than
curious.
straight, I can't think of.
Yeah, I don't
what you
know.
play as a cat.
As a
I
cat.
thought you said earlier Lion King. I thought that was the game you.
Yeah, Lion King. That's cheating.
That is
but
true.
Yeah,
That
it is a cat.
true. I played as a giraffe in Castle on the
what?
Coast. A giraffe.
What the
Castle
hell
on
is
the
a
Coast.
giraffe? Oh, a giraffe.
Giraffe.
What's
I
that?
thought you said
PS2
draft,
game?
like DRAFT. I was like, what the fuck is that? You just played as a piece of paper and fucking beat the game.
What's that whole game?
Which game?
Bubsy. Isn't Bubsy a cat?
Oh,
He's
Bubsy's a cat, right?
some sort of cat.
Yeah, he's a cat.
He's also an embarrassment. So we got to talk about
He's in
that.
it. Well,
Oh,
that
there
game.
goes-
Look at this
there goes-
game.
There goes the real cat.
Ew.
Just
Actually, to be fair, in
Oh,
Pokemon Legends
man.
Arceus, you can play as what's the cat like one that you
this
walk
is
around
funny.
Wait,
Bayonetta?
are you talking about That's not what
Yep.
you said.
Well, you can play as a cat in
Robert, you
Skyrim.
got to play this game on your backlog.
I can't. I mean, I have to remove some.
Dang.
I already have.
How did
Also,
somebody
he would
put-
have to
somebody
give
put this
a
shit
fuck
out,
enough,
too.
and I don't know if I give a fuck enough to watch this. This
Somebody
is
put this shit
painful.
on their channel. Like,
Unless
They're
I
proud of this
want, you know what I want? I want the only way I would watch Robert play this game
Wow.
is if he's speaking as Niffler the whole time through a Let's Play.
This looks like legit Wii visuals.
I need you to rage out. It's
Well,
Niffler.
Wii has better animation than this shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Animation is atrocious. Like, think of like freaking Safari. Like, that shit look way better than that shit.
That Safari was on the Wii too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We're aware. God, we're aware. He wouldn't stop making me aware.
That was a genuinely good game, man. That was a genuinely good game.
JP said, "What is this horrible monstrosity?"
What?
And JP said, "What is this horrible monstrosity?" Shit. Oh, Blinks. The time sweep. Oh shit!
I have not played that yet, but that's
Oh, on
This
the
is fucking
Xbox
phenomenal.
3, on the Xbox or Xbox
This is
360.
Wii game.
No, this is the
Xbox
PC version. It
No,
looks like,
it's
or at least
Dolphin.
emulated.
I like that Robert immediately knew which
The
version.
major.
It's the Dolphin
Wait,
emulator.
Oh, excuse me. I think this is the PC version because look at the grass.
With the animation, it's the Wii version at high res, but let's find some more.
That's a big difference.
That
But
is a
still,
big
the
difference.
animations are still the Wii version.
The trunk is fully modified. It has all the polygons.
Compared to what I was
Oh, we're
used
looking
to.
at
it's a
African
big difference.
Safari.
The Serengeti. Look at the Serengeti.
This is a really good game, man. I
Look
want
at the
more games
that
in this-
elephant animations are pretty excellent.
I said I would
That
love
shit looks
games
way better than what we just saw.
It does though. It really does. But imagine like
It
a
does.
game you go like in Japan and then it doesn't have to be animals, but you go around and you take photos of like the different temples in Japan and you learn a little bit about them and as you go. That would be fucking awesome. I would love that. I would find a whole lineup of that. Wild
Elephant.
Earth,
Look at that shit. That shit look
Yeah.
good, bro.
and then same thing with even like that's why like I was saying new Pokemon Snap. The next one needs to be like this, where you can walk around and then you take photos of the
Yeah,
Pokemon
not be on
and-
rails.
Because I want
Not
you to
being
understand something. You understand something.
The missions on rails, but I think that's a big part of
If you go to some of them Pokemon feet first, you will die. I want you to understand that, man.
But that would be cool, dude.
We got listen. I understand. We have Pokemon who steal children away in balloons. Okay, that's like
Well,
a
that
real-
doesn't mean take a photo with them.
It's
It's
crazy. That's crazy.
That's why it's like
That is
you
true.
can have some
That is
on
crazy,
rails
but it's hilarious.
ones. Maybe even retro. I remember retro commented on Wild Earth said, "I can't believe I want the next Pokemon Snap to be like Wild Earth African Safari," because it's true, man. If you could have it where some missions are like you have different ones, some on rail and some where you can walk around. That'd be pretty cool.
Robert is the
Lenny
car.
is lighting up.
Robert is the
Not
car
Lenny, it's
salesman
Ayers.
of the gaming community. Is what he is.
Ayers is
I'm gonna sell you on this
Game Freak
concept right now.
Oh,
All
geez.
right, I'm done. Man, I knew this is literally. This is literally.
Maybe they'll fix it with the free upgrade. Or
It won't.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of? I was in I was maybe
that an
late
attack?
to well everybody late.
What,
I was
what
in
is?
Metaverse before I came on to the podcast. You guys know my little beauty
that?
here that I'm trapped in.
Oh, the VR.
Wow, look at that shit. My Meta Quest 3. This is fantastic.
I blame
And,
Zuckerberg
I was
for
having
all
a
the
blast.
suffering you're gonna endure.
I mean, yeah, I don't know
what the
if
fuck?
performance patches are gonna fix those stuff, but you know.
They might have fixed
Yeah,
some of these glitches already.
From like day
God
one, from what I
damn,
remember.
man.
What is
Yeah,
that
this is
even
early. It's
supposed to
like-
be? Like a ball?
It's supposed to be part of the. It's supposed to be part of the gym challenge, yeah.
Mm.
And somehow
That shit is possessed by a
I don't even
demon,
like
bro.
this game like that. That's the crazy part. That's what makes me mad about it.
I don't know how you played them.
The
man.
first,
I was-
the trailers looked pretty damn promising for the world and stuff.
And then I had to hear Juice the whole time. I don't know about
To be
this game,
fair,
Terrell.
I mean, I know.
Look at
and
all
I-
these glitches. I
heard
was gonna
it's
pick a
like-
Pokemon game up, but I decided not to. And I'm just like,
I'm
alright.
glad I
I heard
didn't.
it's a lot of fun, man. Like other than that stuff, but
To be
Terrell
honest,
doesn't
it
really
was-
like it that much. I mean, even when it's
No,
working.
but Sword and Shield was a better experience for me.
I seen Terrell do this live. He clipped through this like a cave
Yeah,
like this.
it's weirdly easy, and then you just die. Welcome to
Yeah.
hell.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I remember this video. That was
and this is
just
why you don't play
hilarious, bro.
multiplayer.
This was a weird time to be a Nintendo fan. A lot of anger.
This is only like 3
A
years
lot of
ago.
hate.
That's the crazy part.
Even when I mean, just in general, they really just
You're like, no.
the
Oh, sorry.
textures are just like the tiled textures of the like the rocks.
Yeah.
How did you go from Legends to this? Like, I mean, Legends wasn't like
Because
amazing,
these
but
motherfuckers
it
weren't, these buggers weren't ready, dog. Also, I thought it was Namono. What? Wait a minute. What?
anyway, it's time to
Come
get
on,
out of
man.
here.
I just wanted to give a shout out to my, but this is a fantastic device.
That thing's
here.
bigger than I expected, honestly.
So are you saying
well, here's the
thank
thing.
Zuckerberg? We thank Zuckerberg, and Zuckerberg we trust.
No, the Oculus was a thing before his bitch ass showed up, so I ain't thanking him.
Damn. Oh, wait a
I
minute.
thought they
Hold
had
on,
one
hold
that
on.
was like a lot slimmer.
He's socially awkward. Leave him alone. He don't get it.
But,
He don't understand
when
social
you get
cues.
you get your Meta Quest 3 or whatever, get rid of this fucking jock strap. This is garbage.
Yeah, I thought you were
got
playing
rid
with it
of
earlier, and I thought that
immediate.
it came out of your ass, and I was so mad that
It,
you
it
put it
looked
on
like
stream.
it literally looks like a jock strap. I got rid of that and I bought this
What is that?
for like
that's
this little attachment here. This shit was only like $12. This was nothing, and it's way better. So you can put it on and
That
it fits,
top thing
you know,
don't come with it. Or is that part of the
No.
quest?
No, this is what came with it right here. This was the strap that you put
Jeez.
on your head. It looked like a goddamn G string or some shit. But yeah, this piece here, this right here, this is all this back thing. This is what I bought. I can't believe how fast this just came. I think I ordered it on like Friday and it was here like out here today.
I
Amazing.
can't believe how fast that bitch
Yeah.
came in.
What game are you playing?
I didn't know anything about. I didn't know about hand tracking.
He's
Like, shit,
married.
you don't even need to use the controllers and shit for.
Are we
like,
not going to talk about what just happened?
a lot of stuff.
It tracks your hands without
Like
the.
it sees your fucking hand and it's amazing. You can do like
That
little
is amazing.
gestures and shit. I'm like,
What kind
this
of
thing is
gestures were you
way
doing?
cool.
Oh, you know that's I know.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
sir.
That's gotta be. That's
That's the
they
first
gotta
Hey, sir.
The first thing my wife
application.
asked me was, "Is there porn?"
That start
I'm like,
was
"Yeah,
rough, Robert. I
probably."
knew what was going on.
I was like, "I'm sure there is. I'm sure."
I'm
But this
sure.
thing is-
You gotta let us know. No.
I was in the
Oh,
metaverse.
yeah.
And I was just
Oh,
walking
you're gonna do a
around.
live stream for us.
Like, this fucking fake McDonald's. I was just walking around and like, that's another thing. The fucking
Was the
audio
service bad in
on this
virtual
thing
as it is in real life?
is amazing. You don't have your headphones. You can just hear from. I don't even know what the fucking sound. I think it comes from right here. It like, and you don't need a mic. You talk and people can, and it's crisp and clean. I'm like, how does this
I
thing
love how
work?
he is
Like,
living like this player one life outside of it. He's like, yeah, I was just walking around in the metaverse and shit.
It's McDonald's.
Yeah, I was walking around. It was
Fuck
funny as
McDonald's.
shit. People were walking around talking shit. Some was like 10 feet tall. It was like little people, tiny as hell on the ground. Like, hey, how you doing? I was
That's
like,
awesome.
and you can hear everybody running by, and it's like, shit is crazy.
Yeah,
It
the
was
one that
just
I
technology.
did-
That's on me, mommy pervs. Terrell knows about that.
Wait, whoa, wait. What did I hear? Oh, wait,
The one
say it
that I
again,
know is,
Retro. No. Say it again.
Because Steve's talking about
Here's
some
the
people,
problem.
people are really small, and I'm like, this is a step on me, mommy pervs. Terrell knows
No,
about that.
listen. Also, Retro, you're in the goth mobbies. I don't hear shit from you, so you're into big titty goth moms. I don't hear shit from you.
God dang, bro. That man been all out on Front Street. Just look at his business. God dang. But that's the thing about the meta quest is like everywhere I go, this little fucking kid, you can just hear him. Oh, man. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking around.
Oh, because it's like in the audio, so you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you can hear it in your audio, like, and it's just little kids everywhere. So I'm like, I don't know, I feel comfortable in this
Why
shit.
was it so funny? I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to end up on the list and shit.
On the Vive, there was one game called Rec Room. I'm sure you heard of Rec Room.
Oh, you wrecked the shit out of that room, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like that, like where you have kind of a little world, but it's more like you have these things surrounded by mini games, but you have you're not like as customizable. But then you have like VR chat, which is like people be importing models and they put different things so they become big or small and do some crazy shit and so cool.
I walked in and like the minute I jumped into the some Hispanic lady came up to me and she just started speaking in Spanish to me. And I was, hey. So she was like putting her arms out there. I'm like, what is going on?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, she was like, what'd she say? Yo hablo español. I was like, yeah, sí, poquito, a little bit, I speak a little bit. We're kind of going back and forth a little bit, and I was like, all right, I feel a little awkward, and I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna walk away now.
I'm gonna walk away now. I was like,
That's
it's funny.
wild.
But I recorded a lot of it too. You can just hit record and shit.
Oh, nice.
Record things.
You gotta make
That's
a
so
video
cool.
about that, man.
I have to. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah, because that
some dudes were talking about buying shit in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck? They're just having a little political conversation off in the corner. Like, what the hell? It's crazy.
That's awesome. That's
it's a whole new world. It literally is like a
Ready Player One.
Yeah. The visuals ain't as good yet, but someday it will be.
You're playing it sit down, right? Like you're going like that, or?
Yeah, I sit down. I turn with my head and I move with the.
And if you were to stand up,
that's one thing about
get a little bit like taller.
Yeah,
right?
your avatar will stand. Yeah, he will stand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I was playing the gorilla tag and shit, and
That's
I was,
so good.
with that, I was standing up, and I was, you got to go like this and shit, right? Because you're.
Yeah.
And I was getting tired as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was sweating, bro. I was literally sweating.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
I love that
in the game.
I love that shit.
But it was hilarious. But when I took that shit off, I was all fucked up. Like I was dizzy and shit, because I was actually moving.
I was gonna say,
I was
but do you
actually
feel
moving my body and shit.
still when you remove, you almost like it's like it takes a millisecond for your brain to be like, oh, I'm here, I'm in this room. You know what I mean? Like it's like because it's so surreal. It's like
it is very
immersed that when you just remove it, you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's right.
This is the thing about VR. That I don't care about VR. No. I guarantee you, if somebody lets you play, you're forced to do it. I think a lot of people's opinions change on it. Like I just think it's the idea because people can't wrap their heads around it. Just thinking about it or seeing a video, like you said, it does nothing for you. You have to actually put this fucking thing to see.
The closest
cool
I did was like
playing.
Like a YouTube video where it's like a roller coaster, but it only has limited view. If you turn too far, it's just black. It's just like you're looking at a curved
It's just there's just a massive difference between being in a 3D environment and it being able to like
being fully in, looking everywhere. That would be pretty cool.
Big. Yeah. It's massive.
And it's augmented, so I can just make a fucking 80-foot screen in my living room, sit back and watch movies, or I was watching like documentary or fucking James Cameron and shit, and through that shit was amazing. It just made it more like immersive and shit. So cool, bro. It is. I played you guys know I played the game Mouse, right? The little mouse VR game on PS4. Mm-hmm. And I'm blown away how much better the MetaQuest looks. I didn't buy it again. I just kind of previewed it. And I was like, this shit is so much sharper than the PS4 was. Like I'm away, and it's just a headset. PS4, you gotta have all this fucking things, dongles and shit. It's just this. It's literally just this part. Don't even look at it. It's just this part. This little, it's crazy to me.
But it doesn't have to run off
why,
something else.
I gotta get that one. Realistically, all you need is that. So
that's all you need.
You can't use a phone to boost its performance or anything. Like it's all done internally. That's crazy.
Something weird happened. I pulled my phone up and it shut down. It didn't like my phone in the area. I don't know what that was, but it's great. It's a really cool device.
All right. Well, let's wrap up the podcast in 16
weeks,
days,
2
Robert.
weeks.
16 days.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
16 days.
He's gonna come.
Retro, you gonna try to get one at launch?
I'm gonna come.
I don't. If I don't get it at launch, I don't. The second the PS5 sells, I'll have the money for it. So if I'm able to sell it before then, I'm gonna try and get it at
I
launch.
feel like
Yeah.
you should be able to. Like that should be. I feel like that should be.
There's
pretty
quite
quick.
a few online only, at least in the region where I'm living. But I think I'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want a PS5, but I don't want to pay.
because you gotta go midnight or early. You gotta go pick it up that first day, Retro. You gotta be a part of that time.
That time.
That
I'm
that
trying to
air-
spend
that-
like.
Do
2
you
cents,
remember the
2
time?
But
I get
anyway,
used when
we'll
I
see you
ain't
guys
using it.
next week. We'll be, 10 days away
Closer.
at that point.
Ever so closer.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Oh, we're gonna like wait